have you communicated with a social media user who goes by the name ThATUMBRELLAgUY?
I've had several phone calls with the person who goes by the name ThATUMBRELLAgUY. I don't actually know his real name.
And unfortunately, every time I make a call, it becomes content for the media.
Help! I've been tossed overboard.
I'll have to bill you extra for my time.
Oh man, look at me. Oh, they're wetting down my fins. Oh no, it's falling over. They gotta save me. Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yay!
Was barking on the phone, all that tough talk threatened. Now you looking at the floor like judge, I'm just stressing.
Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATUMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talked to your mayor.
Yeah, it's TUG, that umbrella guy. You picked the wrong storm. 2 times on the docket. Used to lane learn. You kept running to the court. I just let it burn. You was barking on the phone. All that tough talk threatened. Now you looking at the floor like judge. I'm just stressing. You swing wild. I parry that. Turn it to a meme. You gamble with your rep. I'm cashing out on the stream. You said you'd end me. Now you trim me. You a car crash clip. I rewind it in 4K HD. You hate the channel cause the truth don't bend. You ain't a rival. You a cautionary tale I pen. You said you ragged me, but I wrecked you worse. You tried to cancel, now you stuck replaying this verse. 2 times ain't enough for you. Keep suing cause you're scared of the truth. That umbrella guy gon' shine right through. You call it war, I call it views. She crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, that's so news. Crazy, crazy, yeah, that's so news. 2 times ain't enough for you. Yeah. You was yelling at the screen, veins popping in your neck, talking big, talking bold, but your story don't connect. You a late night rant, I'm a documented fact. You a tantrum in a tweet, I'm receipts in the stack. You said I ruined you, I said bet cool. Now the judge looking sideways, who really the fool? You keep threatening in the dark, I just flipped the switch. You a star of your own break. keep spinning, I keep winning, watch the view count rise. Woo! You call me villain, woo! But I'm still chilling. You the one scribbling in threads like that's some kind of living. Ah! 2 times ain't enough for you. Keep suing cause you scared of truth. That umbrella guy gon' shine right through. You call it war, I call it views. She crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, that's old news. Crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, that's old news. 2 times ain't enough for you. 2 times ain't enough for you. 2 times ain't enough for you. You threatened my name, I turned it to fame. You play with the flame, got torched by the game. You keep coming back, same move, same rage. I just flip that page, let the ad money rage. 2 times ain't enough.
What's up? 2 times ain't enough for you. That's right. Oh, man. How's everybody doing today, by the way? I hope you are doing fantastic on this lovely, lovely evening. I swear, these folks, man. You know, I am in... I talked to some police today. That was fun. That was a fun time. I have to tell you about that. That was really fun. I also... I guess I talked to 2 sets of police. I talked to them about totally separate things. That was fun. We were going to go over a police report too. They keep talking about police reports from one Leslie. So we're going to go over her reports about Jeremy. We will totally talk about those, which are interesting because they went from them. By the way, tonight too, we are going to crowdfund. We are commemorating the fact that the antis cannot raise $40 to FOIA. So tonight, they are also begging to sue Megan Fox. So tonight, to commemorate all of that, I want to lawsuit Megan Fox. I want to hire Just J Hip, and I want to sue Megan Fox for $40 dues, so I can get those FOIAs. You know, that's my master plan. So if you want to donate tonight to the channel, make sure that it's donations for my my lawsuit against Megan Fox. That's right. We will be starting our lawsuit. Oh, my Lord. I am not joking. I need $40 dues. I think I can maybe make her settle if I high pressure her, but I need a very good lawyer, a pair-headed lawyer. So if I raise money and then I will flash it in front of him and not give it to him, and he will be impressed, and then I can hire him. It will be amazing. See? Isn't that awesome? Yes, last night though, they were begging for, oh, look at that. There we go. Look at that. Look, $50 dues already, as Sean said. Boom. See? All ready for my lawsuit. On top of that, look at that. Donna's mom is like, hey, dropping the 5 in there. Woo! Mwah. See? Right there. Look. We would already have the FOIAs. Look, we got the we got the crystals popping up. When I hear that, I they should come up with a different name, by the way, because when I say crystals, I think somewhere between Dark Crystal and Breaking Bad. That's where my mind goes. You know what I mean? You know what's funny? When I say crystals, my phone pulled up the crystal thing. Isn't that weird? There's Dawn. Yeah, that's right. To sue Megan Melissa Fox. That's right. We got to get her there. Julie to hire Just Jay. Man, it's going good so far. MA, thank you for that too, to show him the money. See, that's what it is. You know, when they're like, show me the money. That's what I'm going to do. I'm really going to show him. Jay was like, show me the money, Tug. So I'm just going to show it to him. I'm going to put it in my pocket. Yeah. I got reminded of something funny today, too. I got reminded of the fact the little one reminded me today that, now I already knew this, of course, but she reminded me, she was like, Dad, something important's happening in 2 weeks. And I was like, well, what's that? My birthday. Yes, her birthday comes in 2 weeks. So I went and there was a video game that she wanted. I picked up for her. I'm getting ready for it. It's going to be fun. But yeah, you want to hear about a police call there? You want to hear about some police contacts too? We'll keep our dollary dues rolling in too. Yes, again, if you want to get that per se lawyer, we will continue to show. Bonnie, thank you for some per se. That's right. Karen, for whatever's going on. Thank you for that. Jason, thanks for the vibe. Yeah, for whatever, just some peens. That's right. Sometimes, life ain't right without those peens. Oh my. You know what's really weird to me? I didn't understand this, by the way. How can you have I'm gonna lay out a scenario for you, okay? You have somebody that's talking about how they filed a police report for battery, right? Battery, which they've been raising money off the back of for 2 days, right? So they accuse Hales of some pretty awful stuff, which we're going to talk about, and we're going to talk about how they've walked back some of that stuff too, over the last few months. But on that, they then turn it into a fundraiser for another person to sue a woman, which is Megan Fox. What? And then some of the intermittent streams that are around them, they sell you crystals and, I don't know, peens or whatever. I don't know what else they sell in there. That seems really trashy to me, That seems really weird. On top of that, too, look, check this out. I'm going to show you something, too. I put this together today. I'm feeling the construction bug. Sometimes you got to, make things. So along with making origami toys and things like that, I made this. Let me read these to you. Isn't this interesting? Huh. Look at that there. Isn't that crazy? That seems very vindictive, doesn't it? Huh? The entire time I was playing him, I knew he ruined my job, so he was lying to me, hence why I screwed with him to get evidence. Now you tell me, does this sound like a vindictive person that totally wouldn't lie to you, right? I spoke to this loser with a mission. I got everything I needed and always stood by well. Yeah, that's not true at all. It was funny when they turned on each other live. They're like, that was really a plan. All this is covering ass and hoping to make some money. I told you they would escalate, by the way. Told you every time they escalate and they need money because they are down on their luck. I told Robbie prior to even engaging with this idiot, which is interesting because that's a new development that actually wasn't part of it before. And also my favorite here, the law wasn't helping me. So I took matters under my own hands, not in my own hands, under my own hands. What does that even mean? Here, I want to do an experiment with you, okay? I want you to do something for me while you're sitting there. I want you to hold your hands out in front of you. Like I'm going to give you a present. Hold your hands out like I'm going to drop something in them, right? And imagine, you good? You got your hands out there, right? Just standing there, you're like, oh, Tug's going to give me something cool. Now, imagine instead of putting it in your hands, I put it under your hands. What does this even mean? What is that? But so I took matters under my own hands and sought to expose him for real. That sounds like, so the law wouldn't help me. So I vigilante went out here and I totally wouldn't lie and accuse somebody of something crazy, right? Their claim, by the way, if you take everything at face value, their claim is that Hales met her. I'm sorry, Hales was at a storage unit. She goes there, goes into said storage unit, and then he ends up touching her tata, singular. It says tata. It didn't say tatas. It says tata in her pants. And then she loads more boxes with him, and they all chill and hang out. And then Then Jeremy Hales goes public and drops the bombshell about how she's been talking about all this crazy stuff about the treehouse of love and all of that shit. And then essentially a month after the supposed incident happened, then she goes to the police. She went to the internet first. That's right. She went to the internet to talk about it first before. Very credible. Very credible. And of course, they don't have a video of that. Now, they said at first they had a video of SA. Because when they kept saying, all of you out there, you need to FOIA. Why don't you FOIA all this stuff? Why don't you? It was like, because how can I FOIA a video of SA? You know? How would I be able to FOIA that? Oh, it's not that. What is it? It's supposed to be a video of her walking up to in a storage unit, something. I don't know. But it's just supposed to be that. That's what's there. Her and him storage uniting. What? Again, if I took everything at face value, that's what they are. We got our FOIA in there. But we heard about how it was a video, again, of this horrendous thing. And they told us that, remember when they did all those videos where they were putting mushrooms up as their avatars because they were talking about Jeremy's yeah, remember that? Remember they said that was because he exposed himself? Now that's not in the police report, by the way. Now they've walked that back and we're like, oh, he showed her pictures of. That is also not in the police report. Weird, huh? Very weird. It's just say random, crazy, horrible shit. See, these are the people like this now. I want you to think about like the stupid with all this. She's saying in her own narrative, she says, Jeremy wanted her there to show some evidence or whatever. And again, I'm going to read the whole thing to you on there, but he knows that these people are trying to all burn his life down, so he's going to inappropriately just, I don't know, grab a Muppet Tata and touch the pants. What? Oh, so weird, man. How is this my life? Some days I'm like, what in the world is going on? Oh, let me make sure. I have redacted the addresses, by the way. I think some of it I was like, what in the world? So much that I've just got to make sure that I redacted the addresses out of it. Okay, give me a minute. I mean, when you eye roll, sometimes it almost hurts, you know? It does. It almost hurts. Because you're like, what? And again, you have somebody that's sitting out in public and they're saying that they took the law into their own hands. Law won't help them, so they went vigilante style. But they're totally not talking about falsely accusing somebody. I mean, they want to burn a person down so bad. But they totally won't do that, right? Just believe them. Totally trust them. Trust them. I mean, trust people, you know. They wouldn't lie. Oh, wait, they got in trouble. What was it that you had to retire your career over? Oh, my God. You want to see something really funny on that, by the way? Somebody put up a resume of this person. You want to see this? Oh, God, check this stuff out. Give me a minute. This is amazing. I mean, it is. It is amazing. And remember, this this entire stream is brought to you by suing Megan Melissa Fox. That's right. Oh, check this out. I want to show you a few really awesome things in it. Okay, because wow. Some of this it's so amazing. It was like, how in the world is this real? Here, give me 1 minute. There it is. Okay, here we go. Check this out. 10 minutes to lock it in, sorry. All right, here. Look, what I really love are things like the Florida Bar Association. Look, in 2023, she was granted the status of permanently retired. Granted, like it's an award. Oh, yay! You get out there, yay! She does. She presents it like it's an award. What in the world, Leslie? Oh my God. Some of this stuff is amazing when I only attorney in the state of Florida who successfully restored the rights of 9 wards in fraudulent guardianship cases. I only got canned. Let's see, there was oh my God, this whole thing is just amazing. But she makes it sound like, I had all these prestigious awards when I was a lawyer. And then I got retired. And she puts in, she's so crazy, man. She puts in the the headlines, which is like, here's the great things I've done. Now, you remember, it isn't how it crashes and burns at the end, right? I guess it's just the headlines you get along the way. Oh, my Lord, look at that. Oh, man. How is this real? For real. All right, let's look at. I had to show you that real quick while I was thinking about it, because I thought, wow, those are the kind of things that you kind of, I don't know, you might have problems with later on. If you tell something like that. I've almost got this redacted. I'm just reading it to make sure that the places and the addresses are clipped out and the word breasticle is out. Why? Because of the platform. Oh, Lord. This stuff, you really do have to. Okay, so this will be page un. All right, there's a few of these, but we will go with page un. And again, taking anything at its word, how far do you go with, again, and I say taking it at word. I'm not taking the allegation at its word. I'm saying taking the whole context at its word. All right, looking at it. So here, this is a police report. And again, like I said, I've got some police stuff to tell you in a minute too. So on January the 7th, 2026, now, this is supposed to be about an event that happened in the center of December. That's right. On December the 13th. So she waits around for the better part of a month. You know what happened? Do you remember what happened at the end of December? Remember the 12 days of bombshells? Yeah. You remember how that came out? And then suddenly we have this narrative right here. Suddenly, all of these statements start coming out. It's pretty wild. So she says on January the 7th, at approximately noon 30 plus, 2 officers, they respond to redacted in reference to a battery call. Battery, of course, if you do not know what battery is, let's actually just the legal definition. I think it's a battery. It was like here's a battery charger. I'm like, no, that's not the kind of batteries I want to charge. In law, a battery is the intentional or unlawful use of force or physical contact on another person without their consent. It is both a crime and an intentional tort. That'd be a civil wrong. So, again, they're playing games. Now, of course, she doesn't want to press charges too. So, why? Well, I'm not sure why. I wonder. I have an idea of a why. I have an idea. And it isn't because it's false. These people don't care about truth. Again, I was saying this the other day. if you hate Jeremy Hales, if you don't like him, right? Are you comfortable throwing in with a group of people that include folks that have definitely been charged with crimes against the elderly? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with extortion, strong-armed extortion, fraud? How about the guardianship thing that actually the manipulation of a blind man? How about drowning a person? You okay with that? Yeah, for real, drowning a person. How about someone exposing themselves to people? You okay with that? How about people being accused of DV repeatedly? You know, some of these people you watch on panel, by the way, the same people you're supposed to cheerlead that the same people that are setting up on the panel are telling you that they're domestic abusers. Are you okay with that? Are you okay? Do you hate Jeremy Hales enough that is what you're wanting to link up with? Because when you start looking at all of these folks, if you take a really hard look, you know, you're allowed not to like anybody in the story. That's fine. But my God, man, surely there's a line in life. But anyway, so upon arrival, I spoke with the victim, later identified as a big black square. It's awesome. Who provided a written sworn statement stating the following. A written sworn statement. Isn't that interesting? They provided a written sworn statement. Redacted noted that on December the 13th, 2025. So again, this supposedly happens on December the 13th. And on January the 7th, she decides, oh, yeah, maybe I should call the police. Okay. At approximately 12:10, the suspect, later identified as Jeremy Hales, had battered her by grabbing her. That's a singular, by the way, singular. It states that. It doesn't have an S like a plural. I don't know if that's if it were the weird thing is, if it's supposed to be a typo, then why does it happen over and over and over? But anyway, in her pants without her permission. He likes velour. You're like, oh my God, look at these velour pants. Jeremy's like, oh my gosh, I love velour. Oh, Lord. So, Redacted stated she has a YouTube channel and posts content, some of which she posts in reference to YouTube videos posted by Jeremy. Isn't that interesting now? Now she's gone from she doesn't talk about Jeremy or do anything to, oh, yeah, I have a channel. And what else do you do? Honestly, I mean, all the videos that you had around that time, you know, the right, Michael, all of that stuff. By the way, you know what's funny about this? They told their audience that I had this report and I'd sit on it all that time. He'd been hiding it. You know why? Because they don't understand what the share button means. See, I did this strange thing online. I know none of you have ever heard of this, right? I saw something that someone else posted. So I hit the share button. It's a little button that when you hit it, it reposts what they said. And I didn't even put words on it. I just reshared it. And they were like, oh, gotcha. I was like, my God, I understand being being stupid, but there's a special place in hell for these people that are so dumb. Lord, it's a special place in hell. It's actually a door that you don't push, you have to pull. They're like, I'm stuck, I'm trapped forever. You just walk out. How do I get out? I keep pushing the door and it doesn't work. Okay, anyway, sorry. Okay. So, Redacted stated that Jeremy is known for filing multiple lawsuits. And one of the lawsuits involves her friend. Isn't that interesting? So, right after the dollar dues start to dry up. I thought, wasn't there supposed to be some refunding when January came along? So instead of getting refunds to the people that were supposed to get them, what do we have happen? Oh, yeah. We have them getting together to do more garbage complaints. Jeremy's YouTube channel is What the Hales. So Redacted stated on the day of the incident, she had met up with Jeremy at the Redacted storage unit located at Redacted. Those are my redactions, by the way. Obviously, they're terrible. So Redacted stated Jeremy met up with her at the storage unit so he could get some information about her friend that Jeremy has a lawsuit against. Jeremy believed Redacted had information relating to Redacted. Okay, so right off the bat, she's saying that she went and met up with Jeremy Hales, promising him information, and instead walked away with an accusation about something terrible happening. Wow, that's fucking convenient, huh? Convenient, right? Wonder what you gave him besides... Is there? I wonder if they gave him information. I wonder if that's why they're screaming so loudly, because they're afraid he actually does have something. If this indeed happened again at the top of it, did she give him information on the phone? If it didn't happen, if it did happen, did she give him information again? I'm just saying, best case scenario for them. I don't know. Anyway, so. She stated while there, Jeremy grabbed her singular Tata and her pants without her consent. He wanted to put her pants on. He was like, you know, there's people who grab like a dining room. Have you ever watched them like with a dining table and they grab like the cover for it? They're like, and wow, and they pull it back. He's like, give me those pants. And they whip on him. He's like, velour. I swear. Redacted that he reached his hand on her shirt, on top of her brizzle, and grabbed her. Stated he grabbed her pants. Grabbed her pants. That's what it ends on with. Now, this is a person that we saw some of the stuff she wrote to him, and it was very explicit. Holy moly. I cannot believe for the life of me that if Jeremy wanted to do something with her, she wouldn't have been like, okay. I mean, it's just, I read the text messages. Holy crap. I would show you something. Maybe I will show you something. Not today. I don't want to be on this platform. I want to be on another platform where I show them. Because, wow. I'd have to go back and find them too, because that's way, way back. You know, we're talking about going all the way back to January. I tried to bleach those out of my mind, you know. So she stated after he battered her, she continued to help move items in the storage unit. Okay, so again, she goes to meet him. Out of the blue, he's like, hey, let me slippage a little touch your pants. Stops. And they load boxes to get, what is this? They told me that there was a video of SA. And they also said that he had shown her something. That's not in the report, by the way. Now, Redacted notes there is no relationship between her and Jeremy. Redacted only provided Jeremy's name, though through investigative means, I was unable to locate any further information about Jeremy. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. There's more. Okay? I've just got to go page by page, all right? I mean, honestly, this is such fucking garbage, man. Let me see. 1 minute. This is crazy too. I want an extortion case. You want to hear about some extortion casing? Okay. Give me a minute. Here we are. I was trying to make sure. Now, again, what's really gross about this is they enacted Marcy's Law, which again is supposed to keep actual victims confidential. So she asked to hide her name, but now they have come out and they are fundraising on the back of these accusations. And they're not fundraising, by the way, for this. They're fundraising for 2L to sue Megan Fox. Not Jeremy, Megan Fox. What the fuck? That is the grossest thing I've ever heard. It's beyond gross. So, it should be noted, Redacted has a police report with Levy County against Jeremy for an extortion case. What? I gotta go. Let me write me a note here. So, let me see. Let me write a note. So there's an extortion case from Leslie. I'm writing this down against Jeremy Hales in Levy County. What? What in the what now? Oh, my Lord. Yeah, I'm sure he was like, you know what? Jeremy was like, if you don't give me some of that lip filler, I'm going to take you for all the face tape you have. Again, when I talk about this stuff, look, I am not trying to minimize stuff. Again, and they talk about respect for, and this. First of all, I don't respect false accusers. Second of all, they don't respect other people. They talk about respecting victims. I don't like that word. But when they were reading that police report about myself, when they were going through the stuff where they were reading my ex's charges, you notice domestic violence was in her stuff. Well, who would that be against me? They didn't respect me. Did they? Fuck them, you know? And this is not, I mean, again, if I take everything, and I've watched them from go. I've watched what they've said. They said that there was a video of the horrendous. They said there were horrendous things that happened. And I'm not minimizing that. I am not minimizing touch, but I'm talking about, they said, you know, awful things happened. It's just unreal. And now it's become, yeah, you know, really, what would really help us on this channel and really get to the bottom of this? Suing Megan Fox. That's how they work, right? If they can do that. By the way, this police report has been brought to you by Suing Megan Fox, where if you give enough money to sue, see, this is my plan. Again, my legal plan is I'll show you this. You'll be so blown away by this investigative skill where I pulled this off of Facebook because someone else showed it, because that's apparently amazing, that you will throw out money and be like, man, we need more. And how dare you not sue Megan Fox? I'm like, okay. So I'll get money. I'll get it out of the bank, fan it in front of Jay. And Jay will be like, oh my God, he's got money. And then I will sue Megan Fox for $40 dues, so I can get the FOIA of the video of Jeremy and Leslie allegedly walking into a storage unit. You see, it's a plan, right? Maybe she'll settle for $39.98, something like that, you know. And then Jay doesn't cost that much. I mean, he would work for like a Big Mac and the dream of becoming a lawyer, even more powerful than he already is. All right, let's continue. So it should be noted, please refer to the Levy County report for more information regarding this case. Officer White spoke with the manager of the unit. He says video saves 30 days before it's deleted. All he requires to collect the video is credentials and OPD case number. Wait, so that's interesting. So they don't require a warrant? All they need is an accusation, and here. I wouldn't like that. Look, I'm not saying with this. Just imagine, though, if what they're telling you is if somebody wanted to accuse someone else of having something horrible in their storage units, right? Then all the police would technically have to do is get somebody to come in, accuse someone. They show a case number, and they would turn over footage that's shitty. If I rent a place, I'd be like, give me a warrant. That's my answer. I don't care if I hate you, man. I don't care if I absolutely hate you. Unless you did something like, pretty heinous. But even then, I want a warrant, I'm not letting people. I want a warrant. So anyway, let's continue. Officer White sent the email to OPD Video Lab requesting the video footage of the front camera at the storage unit for evidence of redacted and entering storage. It should be noticed the manager at the storage unit stated there are no cameras available in the hallway. Therefore, there would be no available footage of the battery incident. So the footage that isn't that interesting. So there would only be footage of people walking into a building. Huh. Now, you'd be able to really tell that because you can see the cameras that are in a place. All you have to do is walk it. Be like, I'd be very curious, but damn, you can't do this now. Shit. See, they hid this under, that's the other problem with Marcy's Law. It hides some of this stuff. It's harder to find it. But I would have liked to known it within 30 days so I could have found out if, with other days, if she returned and walked the premises to see about cameras and stuff. I'd be curious about it. Anyway, therefore, Redacted signed a declaration to prosecute and wanted to report the incident for informational. I'm sorry, signed a declaration. A declination. I said declaration. Declination. She declined. So this terrible thing happened. Here, look. You're talking about somebody that hates Jeremy Hales with every fiber of their being. Right? Every fiber. They put this out there, by the way. They're the ones who brought all this up and brought it out. So you can't say it's just something like Tug tripped across to embarrass them or whatever. No. This is a person that wants to, it said that they will destroy Jeremy. They are going to destroy him. They're going to destroy. So they've said all of this stuff, but they declined to prosecute. That's strange, isn't it? All the crazy live streams this week. We've been watching 70s disaster movies. Perfect Company, man. Yeah. Airport. I like watching zombie attack movies. It reminds me of some of the people out here. I also I have a giant centipede. His name is Frank. He reminds me of some of these people. They ring around in the dirt and they try to find things to catch, but half the time they only end up out. Actually, Frank's a lot smarter than they are. My kids are like, why name him Frank? Is his name Frank? Like the little one's like, the snake's gummy, cold slither. She's like, I'm going to name the centipede. I was like, I'm naming the centipede. He's mine. Well, what are you going to name it? She wanted a cool name. I was like, Frank. Is his name Frank? Hashtag justice for Frank. So she desired Marcy's Law, right? I provided her with the victims, right? And the incident was captured on my body issue. So there's body cam footage of her doing this, and they want body cam footage. Isn't that interesting? So are they going to request the body cam footage and show that too? Huh. I'm definitely requesting that. There's more pages, by the way. Okay. Just give me a minute. I have to check each one. All right. And I'm going to tell you about Popo. Oh, so much stuff. It's a crazy week, isn't it? All right. So let me see. So there's they sent them. So there's a thing that talks about storage video. So let's see. On the 13th, give me a second. I'm looking over the follow-up. I'm making sure that there's not anything that's on this. Okay. You know what's weird too? Okay, they talk about a video. Now again, we're supposed to get a video. All right. So give me a second. Here's page. Give me a second. I'll have a look at it. This is the next page here. I'll make sure there's nothing in here. She keeps pushing the ongoing Levy County case, by the way, for extortion. This is page 5, by the way. I skipped page 3 had just like a column. I think of, hey, 1 second. I could mute. I had to run off a writer. I was like, no, not today. Not reading today. So page 3 was like a just you again, if you're very curious, you want to see these without me redact, like where I tear things out. I didn't put the black squares in, okay? But the redactions of some stuff, or if you want to see the pages that are missing, you go to Facebook. They are all there, you know, again. So here is page 5. So on January 13th, 2026, at approximately 0900 hours, the officers respond to a redacted place in reference to a follow-up with this. Again, upon arrival, I met with redacted, stated in reference case that she now desires prosecution. So within a week, she's like, I want him. I'm going to destroy him. I told you, man, these people, if they get a chance, if one of these fucking people gets any kind of chance to try to set you up, they want to ruin Jeremy's life. They want to fuck his life up. You know that, but I'm talking about not in the just grab money. Oh no, they want him labeled something terrible. They want, I mean, they are trying for anything they can. I have. And Leslie, again, I showed you her quotes earlier. She's like, you know, the law wasn't helping me, so I took matters under my own hands. Okay. I would keep a statement like that. Just she says she wants prosecution. At this time, redacted cannot provide a phone number for Hales. I find that to be weird, considering what the shit? So wait. There's a, oh my God. So there's a police report from November from the school district that she's involved in that has Hale's number attached to it that she's involved in, but she can't get his number. Convenient. That's very convenient. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? I did not find a photo of Jeremy, so redacted could identify him. It should be noted that redacted has an ongoing case with Levy County Sheriff against him that she believes is not making any progress. No shit. It's a garbage case. Extortion, really? Extortion. We got to look. FOIA, baby. FOIA. Gotta have that. I want it. Redacted did not claim any injuries from when the incident occurred. It should be noted that Redacted stated she continued to help Jeremy pack his items at a storage unit after the battery she claimed occurred. Redacted also waited a month to report this incident. Yeah, exactly. What happened in the month? Well, she went from thinking she was going to go live in a fucking treehouse with Jeremy Hales to Jeremy Hales being like, bombshell, this crazy person sold out Lisa. That's what happened during that time. But hey, you know, this is why I do not listen and I do not believe. I don't. I like evidence. You know what kind of evidence I had for my crimes? I had a cigarette burn on my back. I had a cigarette burn on my arm. I had cuts on my face. Yeah, I had evidence. I had real evidence. And I'm not saying you always have that. I typically would not question a person I would not question you about whether or not that something terrible happened to you. But if you want to burn a person's life down, unfortunately, in this day and age, I can't believe anybody. You can't. I mean, we've seen some high-profile cases where it's not only like, again, like a Depp case was a perfect example, right? You have her alleging these horrible things that happened in Australia, right? Except Depp walks away missing a finger. The end of his finger, he loses it because she took it. She lops that sucker off. But she tells the world she's the victim. And he protected her. So, like I said, most incidents, though, there is no reason to. And, unfortunately, I want a world where I could believe every person out there. Because, man, I know a bunch of you have probably been through horrible things. I know some of you have been through some horrible shit, too. You have my love and support with it. You have, though, people that, again, you have liars, manipulators. There's yet another person here that has accused a person of DV, that sits on a panel with that person and tells you about how great they are. Accused them multiple times in a courtroom. And they all tell you how great of a person he is because they care about victims as long as the alleged victim is saying that Jeremy Hales did something bad. Everybody else, they're okay. So, like I said, you have to, even if you want to say, I hate Jeremy Hales, man, you have to throw away a lot to join up with these people. I mean, again, you should read the lawsuits against family. You should read the lawsuits against workers. Oh, you should read the lawsuits against the bar when they try to say, oh my God, some craziness. Anyway, let's continue. So, let's see, on December 13th, 2025, approximately 11:46 hours, redacted appeared on the front entrance camera at the storage unit while meeting a white male whose description matched redacted description of Jeremy. Okay, so if that is indeed the case, again, we'll see. If there's a video that we can actually FOIA, we'll see. Jeremy was already at the storage unit. And he walked out with a cart full of items, and some of the items dropped on the ground. When Redacted noticed Jeremy, she waved at him, approached him, and hugged him. Now, this is interesting because Melissa posted pieces of her talking about this incident, and she was telling all of the chat about this time she supposedly met up with Jeremy Hales and all this stuff that happened. Now, one part of it, she said that, okay, here, I'm going to read this. She said, I never got close enough to smell him, quote, comma, but I certainly screwed with him and I laughed the entire time. Wait, what? I mean, this is what she said. There's her whole words. So she never got close enough to smell him, but she hugged him. Like, how do those two things come together? And she laughed and screwed with him the entire time. And again, she's talking about fuckery here. That transcript of what she says by itself, I would bury her in a court with something like that. If she went, again, she'd have a real problem with this stuff. Anyway, so Redacted then helped Jeremy pick up items that were dropped on the ground back on the cart. Redacted picked up some items off the ground and loaded them into a trailer that was parked at the front exit. At approximately 11:50 hours, Jeremy, again, person identified as, we'll see if there's a video, along with Redacted, enters into a storage unit with an empty cart, and at approximately 12:19, both of them exit the storage unit with a loaded cart, and Redacted is seen helping Jeremy push the car. Oh, so he did these horrible things to her, and she's just like, hey, let's walk out together, right? Okay. After unloading, so they unload together too. If this would be the narrative if that is indeed him on a video. After unloading a cart, they enter a storage unit at at 12:21 hours, and redacted was pushing an empty cart by herself, following Jeremy back. Oh, so terrible things happen, and she follows him back too. At approximately 12:30 hours, redacted and Jeremy exits storage unit with more items on a cart, and redacted continued to help him load the items on a trailer. At 12:33 hours, Jeremy and redacted entered the storage unit again with an empty cart. 12:45 hours, Jeremy and redacted each pushing a cart full of items to the trailer, and redacted helped load the items into the trailer. This concluded the video footage. It should be noted there are no cameras inside the units that would have captured the alleged battery. Yeah, that would be typical, like I said. So saying that when they meet, he ends up doing these horrible things, and then they load products together. That's really strange, right? Not typical. And again, she didn't have a problem with it for a month, essentially a month. Okay, let's look at another. Oh, I can't wait for some video. God, I hope there is a video. I want to see it. I want to see a real video too. Again, these people though, what's wild to me is they're like, we need to raise $40. You can't come off $40, dude, really? You know how much money we end up spending on FOIA? You guys, we don't talk about that stuff, but with some FOIA items, you end up eating a lot of money. I mean, you guys have no idea. That's just part of the game. You know, you FOIA shit. You FOIA, you take wild strides. By the way, I thought of something that I need to go and I've never thought of FOIAing before that might really bear some fruit. So there's more. So the probable cause. Here's the statement that they do not want to include in any of this stuff too. Based on the victim's statement and the lack of video footage inside the storage unit where redacted advised that the battery occurred, along with not being able to positively identify him, probable cause cannot be established to charge him with battery at this time. Yeah. So the video shows nothing. She doesn't do anything with a month. Again, they're like, yeah, there's nothing here. There is nothing here. But there is a lot of accusation. There's a lot of her talking online where, again, all it takes is an accusation. The accusation is used as, this is something we've talked about since 2019. The accusation is used as proof. Accusation becomes substantiation. The accusation is proof of a crime. That's what accusers do. The height of Me Too, that's when it got into witch hunt proportions, because for every real claim that you would see, and there were some, they were real claims. They were awful ones. Like I believe the claims against Shia LaBeouf, for example. I very much believe those are real. I've seen enough to, oh yeah, people like that. Okay. But for every person that you had something like that, you'd have people that were just burning down lives. You would have folks coming out and saying something, and then there would be nothing. And all of this, again, I need to see a video, first of all, to make sure that that's there, that that's real too. I need to see a real video. I need to look at it. Let's see. So there's body worn camera, by the way. So we got body cam too. Let's see. I think there's one more page. Let me check it. Let's see if there's one more page. Oh yeah, this is just a unit. Okay, so the last page is a unit description. So essentially, they have set on this report for months, knowing there was nothing there. There was nothing. They had no proof of any kind of crime. They utilized this though. Again, they took extreme accusations. Then they tried to back them off and back them off and back them off. Again, they said there was video proof of SA, of, I'm going to say ARP. But then they backed it off. They said that, again, there was some, I hate to put Pearson's name with this stuff, that he exposed himself. That's not even in this. Should include that. Do you think if that happened, that she wouldn't have included that? I mean, really, do you think they wouldn't have included that stuff there too? They were like, trust me, that happened. Trust me. Again, the kind of shit you burn men's lives down with. All you got to do is believe that people who have, people, like, look at this entire group of people. And fraud, extortion. We've got disbarments. We've got retirement in lieu of. We've got all this craziness. You got to believe that these folks, they're not lying this time, though. Not this time. You just listen and believe. You just listen and believe. Craziness, man. So, speaking of this stuff, I decided that I wanted to do another follow-up. First of all, I'm going to talk about 2 police discussions today. I decided I would do a follow-up. Now, why would I do a follow-up? Well, because I was very curious about, you remember the thing that I showed you, well, really in the last, I've shown you twice now. Remember that police report that actually didn't have anything to do with this, but they used it as, see, they didn't think we would be able to get a hold of that police report right there as fast as we did. That's why they were like, Tug, sit on it. No, actually, somebody got a hold of it real fast. Props to you, by the way. Props to you. I shared it over on, like I said, Facebook if you want to check that one out. But they pulled up the school narrative, right? This is what happened with the school, which is interesting. By the way, why won't they show you the letter that they told you existed, where the principal sent out a letter talking about Jeremy Hales and the harassment going on at the school? Why don't they show us that? Remember, they told you there was a letter. Why? Because it's not about any of that. Like I said, the proof of any of that. See, when they're talking about the proof of incident, what they brought up was a mess, because they again said that there was a school that was closed, an entire district closed down, thousands of kids. 3,000 plus is what I can't remember the exact number, but over 3,000. They were denied an education, teachers panicking, cats loving dogs, chaos. But they told you all this stuff was happening. Then we get a hold of it and we find out not only is that not the case, but in this, that there is nothing that states. Here, let me pull it up. In this report that they did, they didn't bring up myself. They didn't bring up Megan Fox. They didn't bring up Rosalind Duke. They didn't bring up DJ Radis and more. Now, I want to note something too. So, a letter that DJ Radis wrote, it was showcased on Squid's channel. I'm sure she covered this. Props, by the way. But I'm sure she noted this in there. But when something comes out outside of a channel, a lot of times people are like, there's a letter. The date on the letter from DJ Radis was the 18th of November. Remember, this supposedly takes place on the 6th of November. Okay. I wanted to know, so I called the other day and I wanted to know if, with a report with this, if my name was brought up in anything, or a Megan Fox, or a Rosalind Duke, etc. Now, I talked to one person, and involved in that, what I found out was that when they discussed all this, see, they made it sound like there was one police report. If you listen to them, they made it sound like all of this. See, there's a problem with this, by the way. So Leslie put this right here into her quote unquote evidence in the upcoming hearing, for her craziness, basically. I mean, honestly, her vexatious litigate, but everything else too. she put together 230, well, it's supposed to be 240 pages, but it ended up being 230 pages. Well, she put this in there. The problem was that it cut off. You notice it just stops. Okay. She doesn't put the rest of anything in there. It just cuts off. In fact, in the exhibit, it just stops. Well, the way that they inferred that was that somehow all of this connects, like there's one big report or something, right? Because they're bringing this up and they're telling you. So it's like they were connected somehow. It's like, what? That isn't. So when I called the other day, I wanted to know if that had gone on, but I realized that I had a mistake in that because I was assuming the way that they were bringing this up that there was one case with it. So I wondered if when the police pulled up the item with Leslie in Orange County, I wonder if they pulled up what we had just seen. So I contacted again, and I wanted to know if I took out this specific item, because we're talking about closed. I mean, these are closed cases. There's nothing going on with this stuff. They're bringing up, they need fodder and they need money. What they think is they've got a get rich scheme going after Megan Fox while they defame her still. See, they continue saying that Megan Fox is part of this school story that she contacted. You know, there's proof of contact. Now, even with their so-called proof, the only proof they have is Rosalind Duke wrote the school on the 8th. So they say that this event happens on the 6th. They throw out all this stuff about it. And Rosalind Duke's like, yo, I'm being accused of shutting down a school district. In fact, that is also in it's in the so-called proof. Here, actually, let me bring it up in front of you. It's easy you'll have to take my word on it. Let me show you this. Give me a second. I'll pull it up. I've got it right here. Again, this is the so-called proof right here. This was, look, Megan and Rosalind working together to contact my school. It's 2 videos about Laura Owens. Yeah. Not even about Laura Owens, but on top of it, you have Rosalind who wrote and did get a reply, but you notice the date. The date is very easily seen right there, the 8th. See, all of this stuff happens after the 6th, which is noted again. It is immortalized on the police report. So yes, she writes and she's like, hey, to whom it may concern, I was informed of a lockdown on your campus Thursday, November 6th. It's noted there. I was informed by a spokesperson for Leslie Federico that I was accused of sending emails to faculty and placing a call to the school that caused a lockdown in the police investigative situation. Never met Leslie, never had interaction. I only know of her only through another legal matter. I don't reside in Florida, working all day Thursday. Therefore, I did not have time to phone the police or phone the school, send emails to the alleged. They said 274 faculty members supposedly got emails, which it does not say that, by the way, in the police report either. Additionally, there's a video footage of me working. So she's like, hey, I couldn't have done any of this. I'm working. There's a video camera there, everything. So she was like, before I involve my legal counsel, please verify any such events occurred. Your immediate attention to this matter would be greatly appreciated. So this is after the fact, obviously. There's no phone call. Megan Fox has never called. And myself, I called the police on the 10th. I wanted to know whether or not I had been put into any report. So that's what for eliminations purposes, I took the case number that we know about with the storage unit thing, and I eliminated that. And because they were real, how do I put this, they're real uncomfortable answering questions. Like it's the Marcy's Law part, I'm sure, but they seemed very uncomfortable answering questions. So, I mean, they trigger Marcy's Law on it too, but I do have the right to call in, ask about things. I do have the right to request or FOIA them. Even with that, they just have to redact names and stuff. But we have to have case numbers. See, they've been playing this game. They hid her name. That's what she does. She does this a lot. She plays victim to a lot of people, and she tries to hide the evidence of what she's doing. She hides it behind a legal wall like that. So I called and was asking if there was outside of that report or outside of, I was going to read the top part of this narrative. Outside of this, since we have that part, I asked them, first of all, could they verify with that there? Could they verify if there was anything that involved me specifically that they could find by my real name, channel name, the shortening to TUG, anything? And they told me they could not find anything. They could not find anything with Megan Fox or more. Huh, isn't that weird? Then I had an interesting conversation here because some jackass decided to call down here and try to weaponize our police. That's right. Isn't that fun? So I had a conversation with someone that didn't work out the way they thought it would. I realized they were trying to cause their own problems. Like, oh my God, I'm going to make a report about this evil dude that talks about people on the interwebs. Well, guess what? That's happened before. I play it at the beginning of the show. It's a mockery of the guy that did it. You know, the I'm calling from that guy. That's a real police report. That's a real a 911 call that happened here with an idiot calling 911 here. So that did happen. They posted it, in fact. So I mean, it's happened before. And they're like, yeah, well, apparently, there's been the same thing. So I had an interesting conversation about someone. You know who you are, by the way, baby cakes. I'm going to see if I can get their report on this. Yeah, but someone was like, oh my God, harassment. Monster with a microphone. Yeah, they tried that yet again here. Now they've tried some crazy stuff here. Remember, they've tried calling in again. I cannot attribute this to anyone, but like I've said, we've had some pretty nasty kid-related calls. We had that weird call with a vehicle where they were one of these weirdos alleged the vehicle was involved in a kidnapping. Yeah. That's not dangerous, right? And now one of them decided, we're going to call. And again, it wasn't a bad conversation or anything. It wasn't like they showed up and were like, we're going to get you. That's not how it worked out in any way, shape, or form. But they tried. It is funny. Now, I just found out about it. I was talking to somebody, and I found out there had been something. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll voluntarily talk about these folks. In fact, I'll provide you a few of their police records. Would you like to see? I don't live in, by the way, the thing they forget is I don't live in Sumter County. I don't live in Levy County. Those places, again, there's a conflict of interest in Sumter County that I believe is a real problem. And in Levy County is just a jacked up place. Most places, if you were to show them the records of some of the, like, if you point out a few of these people and you're like, yeah, here's the record, you know, 4 years in the federal pen. Oh yeah. Most places are like, that's not a good person. You know, of course they want to silence you. Oh, scamming the elderly. Yeah. That's probably a bad person too, huh? Oh, disbarment. Oh, yeah. So, you know what I mean? Like, you can show people. But they have been trying, and they admitted. So I pushed this into the title as well. I forgot about putting this in. So as far as the channel striking thing is concerned, they admitted attempted. Now, failed attempted, but still, I'm going to promise you something. I will promise them this. You try to strike my channel over garbage. If you ever succeed, I will return the favor. And I will succeed. I find these people funny enough not to knock off the air. I would not. I don't believe in doing that. However, if a person is going to try to hit my channel, I do not feel there's any obligation to go after them. Let's see. Oh, I got a question about what needs to be FOIA'd. The police report from her. 1 second. Give me 1 minute. I've got. So here, let me see. What do we need FOIA'd? We need. There's 2 Orange County cases. They're Leslie's, I guess. So, oh, that's the other thing. You see these here. I want to show you something real fast too. So, you know, give me 1 minute. These numbers here. Here we go. Got it right here. Sorry, it's taking me a second. Here at the bottom, when I ran redacted, 2 past Orange County Sheriff case numbers were discovered. These numbers, which are not redacted, by the way, in her big informational packets, yet 19 and 22. Huh. Well, that's interesting. That usually means you're talking 2019, 2022, meaning before the Jeremy Hales stuff, right? So that seems rather odd, right? You know? So I'd like to know about those 2. They are spelled out in black and white because I'm curious what they are, just to know. And also, Levy County needs to be FOIA'd because Leslie said that she had a quote-unquote extortion case against Jeremy Hales when Levy County, that it wasn't going anywhere. And I want to see the extortion case. I want the documentation to it. I want to laugh at it. I need it. You know? I mean, there's so much goodness there. Yeah, a few people are like too. The police can't find a video of Jeremy. Yeah, well, you know the. Give me. So the police, when they're looking through this, they can't identify Jeremy. There's a picture of him on the screen if they have a video, right? So if they can, they could 100% identify him and find him if they wanted to. But there's nothing they like, again, if there's a video and it is absolutely legit, then all they did is prove that they fucking fake items that again, they want to burn somebody's life down. I believe that's even more evidence that these people are bad people. And I don't think you need any more evidence of that. But let me pull up something. What time is it, first of all? Yeah, we got plenty of time today. We all are sexy. We have our time. Sexy time. What am I saying? I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm sorry. I say some dumb things some days. Oh my God. You know, every night, I bet you, I haven't looked, but I will bet money that the Fats, they again are going to go live every night. They're going to go live and they're going to be like, give us money, please, so we can sue Megan Fox. Oh my God. Yeah, Megan, that's going to be fun. What I really love about all of that is there's another video that's funny. What I really love about all of that is the fact that, again, Megan has picked up so much stuff. And I mean, how much proof does she need? How much proof does she freaking need? Man, there is so much. Give me 1 minute. I got to pull up something. Like she's, again, right now, these people have continually defamed. There's 2 items that they've defamed her over that are just amazing. Like, again, they said, and they whipped up hundreds of people off of this, that Megan Fox herself called 2L's landlord. Remember that? That they had the phone number, that was proof, and that she had said her name and something else. And then they backed that off and said, actually, it was, I forget who they said some name I didn't recognize. And I believe at the time they were blaming D spills the tea. Then they backed it off. And for a little while, they blamed, I believe, now again, I'm get a little lost in this right here, but I believe it was either them or it was a bunch of the idiots connected to them. They tried to go and blame Tizzy to bounce. Oh, it says like, what? Why Tizzy? I don't know. And I believe that they were blaming the bench donor. And then they went and blamed the bench donor and again, some other person, because there's supposed to be 2 people. But at first, it was 100% Megan Fox did this. And they whipped up people. They were freaking putting out her info, her phone number, her address. That's not good. Now, on top of it, they have gone on this without any proof that Megan Fox called a school and helped shut down a school district. Again, they said this. It doesn't matter if they've deleted the footage. We have all these videos and keep the videos of that stuff, just waiting for the day. So, yeah, they're going to sue Megan over copyright. Well, Megan has a good reason for rebutting the bullshit that these people put out here, because these people on a good day lie, and on a bad day, they lie a lot more. So, of course you need to. Now, give me 1 minute. I've got to find where I was. I want to go through some video in just a second, but I'm trying to find where I was. There I am. All right, I found it. All right, let's go some video. We haven't, you know what we have not talked about? There's actually 2 big things we've not talked about, but I want to do a video real quick. I think this will be fun. Let's go over some depot video, you know? Let's talk about this wonderful stuff. I love these. Now, there's also one other thing I want to save for tomorrow. There's a post that I did not pick up from Lynette Preston. And this post from Lynette Preston is so insane because I went through and I was reading it today. And I was like, wait a minute, did I not read this or something? It was talking about Ashley, and I could not believe what I was reading. I thought this is one of the most insane things I've ever read. It made me feel for Ashley even more, but I want to go over that tomorrow too. And I'm sure there will be even more lies and stupid, all in the quest for $40. By the way, if you would like to support the channel today, think about doing so, because again, we need to sue Megan Fox. We can't let the fads be the first people to sue Megan Fox. That's not fair. That's not fair. I personally, I believe I've spent enough time around Megan Fox, you know, debunking the ass, as we hear from Jay, that what I need there too, if there's property that's to be owned, because they said they're going to own everything, they're going to move furniture into her home already. I mean, again, these are the same people that they accuse people of being child groomers and stuff, but they're like, yeah, they're going into a courtroom. That'll be fun. Also, they were playing Jeremy's stream stuff. Remember when they were talking about suing Shizzy Wiznut, by the way? Remember they were saying they were going to sue him over, oh, I got a kiddo. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I got you ice pop if you want one.
I don't need one, but you want me to break that one up for you?
Yeah, I got 2.
Are you hanging with Sissy still?
No.
Has she ran off?
I ran off earlier because she was done playing.
Oh, well, tell her to come back if you want her to. Tell her. It's up to you. If you want to play with her more.
Yeah, I do.
Back. Well, tell her Dad said that was the arrangement. If she doesn't want a cleaning day, when she's supposed to be cleaning that horrendous room, right? But I told her she could have a reprieve today if she hung out with you. Okay, and you two can have a play day.
I played Super Mario for one day, Kurt.
That's right. You played some, I was telling them in 2 weeks. What, you know what happens right there in 2 weeks?
I get my own.
No. What big event, though, happens in your life?
I get to play my own
Whose birthday's coming up?
Me and Sissy.
Well, this is a while back, but yours is very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get to play a game. It's an old Coraline game.
Yep, she's going to get to play them old games and have fun. All right, come here, kiddo. Give me a hug. I want a hug. I cut that open for you. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Tell Sissy, if you want to play, tell her she needs to keep playing. You know, tell her to hang out, watch a movie with you or something, right? Like, tell her you want to watch some, oh, hey, Andre, by the way, sent you some candy money. Can you say thank you? Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, come here. I need your help real quick.
What?
I need your help. So I'm trying to raise money. Okay. It's for a very important cause. So can you say something with me?
Mm.
Can you say, help give money to Dad? Can you say those words first?
I'm going to
Say, watch the switches. Help. Okay, say help give money to Dad. Can you say it that way?
Yeah, and help give money to Daddy and Tail.
Okay, well, help give money to us. How's that sound? To sue Megan Fox.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's a joke. Okay. Can you say help us sue Megan Fox, please?
Help us sue Megan Fox, please.
Perfect. Give me 5. Give me 5.
It's cold.
Yeah, see, I have a plan. We're going to raise a bunch of money to sue Megan Fox for $40. Does that sound like a good plan? Yeah. And we're going to get a lawyer with a kind of a pear-shaped head. And he talks like this. He talks like this. Yeah. Can you talk like that? Can you say sue Megan Fox?
Sue Megan Fox.
That's perfect. Man, how could anybody resist that call to arms?
And I'm
Look
the
at that.
cutest. Look,
I know,
man.
man.
Love emoji to the chat.
I know, look at all those emojis.
Look, so it's Megan Fox now.
Yep, sue Megan Fox. Yep. Megan's gonna be calling in. Yeah, actually, I think I hear Megan Fox right now. Bring, 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 bring. Hi, this is Megan Fox. Oh, hey, Megan Fox, how you doing? Oh, you're gonna sue me? Well, I bet that.
Stop with that girl voice.
That girl voice. You don't like the girl voice?
Look at the money.
Like, stop with the girl voice. Oh man, that's Blake. He said, "Here's $5 to help help give us money to sue Megan Fox." That's your request. Look at that. See, she said, "I got to stop with the girl voice." So,
yes,
okay.
you girl
You
voice.
want me to open that one too? You want me to open this one for you?
Yeah.
You want 2 of them?
Yeah.
Okay. What was that?
I need to put him back over my shoulders. How am I going to do this
I
with
don't know. Here, hold this one. Here, I'll put him over your shoulders. You gotta hold this though. I can't hold it. No, hand it to me. Does he strap under your arms or anything? Oh.
No, I just make him
just
go
hold on.
over.
Oh yeah, he's made to hold on. All right. It's a stuffed animal she's wearing on her back. All right.
Yeah,
Take it
it
upstairs.
used to be my sister's, but now it's mine.
Yep.
Forever.
All right, well, take it upstairs. It is yours forever. All right, love you. Hey, tell Sissy though if you want to play. Have her play or watch a movie. She would probably want to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something. Tell her you want to see some of that Baxter. You know, or whatever you want to watch. You want to watch something else. Yeah, I told her, close the door. I told her that that they could have a reprieve from they're always looking at, so I told the oldest, I was like, well, do you want to have a day? Yep. For yeah, the money app. Okay, all right, let's check it out. Money apps. That's what we need. Oh man. Look at that. Give me 1 second. Thank you all too. It's funny. Oh, look at that there. Oh, man. Sue Megan Fox. All right. Thank you for that. Look. Wanda. Thank you. Yep. Hashtag Sue Megan Fox for sure. Man, let's see this. Oh, man. Here's another one from a friend, let's say. That's the best way to go. Sue Megan Fox. She's only medium smart. That's right. That's right. How can you lose? She's only medium smart. She's going to put together money to double sue. She's going to Maybe she could fundraise for suing her, you know? Oh, also, I got a question for, can somebody put, so this is a good question. Thanks for phone there. Can they put Ashley's YouTube channel in so we can build up her watch hours? That way, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So if mods, if you would put her channel in there, you know, Ashley, one good thing would be, if you plan on going forward and doing more material and maybe monetizing and everything, find a name that you can change your name and your probably, and find it. Like, one of the problems that people have is they'll have a common name, something that it makes it hard to find. Like That Umbrella Guy, you'll find one That Umbrella Guy. You find a unique thing that's not going to blend in with a rapper or something like that, you know, and it makes it work. So anyway, let's do this here. Now, this is talking about Depo. Again, the Depo stuff has been amazing. And I want to continue this ride. So let's do it together.
Lynette is literally in a deposition trying to save everything that she owns in her life to leave as a legacy. But instead of staying for a deposition, she fled the deposition. She left. And
Travis said, you talked to the cops more than I did. Yeah. You know, well, I voluntarily talked to with that stuff. That's a big thing in that. I have not been hit up because of some alleged criminality where these people have done that. I do, for real though. They also, like I said, they bragged about trying to strike child. And again, they were trying copyright strikes while playing. They played Jeremy Hale's material the other night. They took his voice and they sped it up or changed it or whatever, and they hit his face, but they didn't hit him well. He's still there. But they were complaining they're going to sue people because of parodies. They were going to sue Shizzy Wiznut because of parody songs. They were going to sue Just Jay It because of parody, and they're going to sue over transcripts. Oh, wait. So you mean to tell me that actually wanting to use somebody's words is a legit use of fair use? Oh, wow. Huh. That's weird. That is very weird. And here's the thing, too. If fair use is this ironclad thing that protects all of that stuff, that would be the same as you using the transcript. That would be a violation of fair use under the way you describe it, which it is not, actually. It is not a fair violation of fair use to bring up clips from a channel. It's actually not a violation to bring up an actual clip of them. That is 100% allowed. It's funny, though. They tried to copyright strike, which they admitted. They talked about it for police report. They think they own police reports now because they are so stupid. I mean, nothing can help them. They're just that dumb. They really are trying to copyright strike, not over police video, none of that. That stuff I showed you. I'm not talking about the police, the entire thing there, not that. No, the one that talks about the school. They think they own that because they're like, I had it as a screenshot. So that doesn't make it yours, morons. Anyway, so let's continue.
And then she went live with the fat, toothless Fleesa when she's still legally under oath.
Yep.
Oh,
under oath.
Boy, that was not smart. Now,
yeah, see, this is another thing. I believe they're trying to deflect from things, and they're trying to find a new way to make money. I mean, they have fucked up royally. Here's another question, by the way, Lynette. Maybe you can answer this. If they love you so much, Lynette, why is it that your quote unquote truth went behind a paywall? They hid your quote unquote truth because they don't care. And you keep talking about you need to raise money or this or that. They don't give a shit about you. But Leslie, all of her allegations, all of her bullshit, oh, it's sitting right out there in the public because fuck you, Lynette. Leslie matters. You don't. Isn't that fun? Anyway, let's continue.
Fleesa is being subpoenaed as well for a deposition. Lynette literally spoke more during a live stream on YouTube than she did in her actual deposition, which was scheduled to start at 8:30 a.m. did not start till roughly 9:15 a.m. because of all the delays, all the interruptions about her child, who's magically fragile with epilepsy now. I don't know if you knew that. She now has epilepsy. She's also on the spectrum now. It's a new ailment every week, if not every day. Whatever it takes to get out of legalities. But the consequences from the legalities, that's her biggest issue right now, except going live after the deposition when she's legally still on the record and court filings have already been submitted to a judge who is not going to tolerate this garbage from her. And as I'm sure you're aware, we're getting into more garbage today. Randy has asked her, is there anything that would medically or medicinally affect your ability to recall answers, to remember events? And she says no. She's asked about 45 minutes about what is her name. She can't give an answer. The world, the planet wants to know, what is this creature's name? Nobody has figured it out to this day. Legal name. She's asked about a deed, how much property she's ever owned, where she's ever owned it, and what legal name has she placed on these different pieces of property. Because in Otter Creek, it says Lynette MLA Preston, except it doesn't say 50-50 ownership with Crook. And Lynette went live confirming that. Now, the deed, that's the legal document, not what the recorder's office or the records office portrays or shows on a website. The actual physical deed is the only piece of information that is legal, that is being used because it is legal in this lawsuit. Now, Randy's asking her questions about the name and about the document and who put the name on the actual document, to when she says, I can't answer these questions. I have PTSD. Not only that, she claims she's had this since she was a child. And then she goes on to claim that it's not the PTSD that affects her memory and her recollecting. It's the current abuse at home. On the record.
That's crazy.
Who's at home? So, the child.
Meanwhile, they're going on every night and being like, but Jeremy Hales, isn't that strange? Huh? You know what's interesting too? I noticed this the other night. I forgot to mention this. So they were talking about Jeremy Hale's number on caller ID at the school. Allegedly, again, this is alleged by someone else that his number is there. You know, again, I don't trust anybody connected to this stuff, but allegedly his number is on that. Now, they were saying, how would anybody have faked his number because nobody knows it? And then at the same time asked Robbie if it was real. Robbie, yeah, that's it. Oh my God. Lynette's sitting around the whole night saying, yeah, I've had it for years. I've had it for years. I said, oh my God. Oh, Lord. I love this mess. I really do, but it's bad. It's very bad. I mean, again, I love the shit show, man, but this stuff they're trying to do to Hales, I mean, it's bad business. They're taking it to another level. They are. The new season, as Jay likes to say, has gotten crazier. We have this stuff going on. We had Lip's return. We've had the phasing out of, I don't know, Ray kind of is still involved. Sort of. He did a stream the other day, although it was sad. I don't really want to talk about it too much. You had people, by the way, in his chat. I know this is random. We're watching the video. I just want to mention this. You had people in his chat telling him, because he's lonely, to talk to Chat GPT. That would make him feel less lonely. And I was like, that is the worst advice I have ever heard. You don't tell somebody to confide in AI. Do you remember there was a case a few years back where there was a guy that was depressed and AI told him to himself, and he did. It encouraged him to. That's terrible advice. He needs to, if he is depressed, and he may well be. I mean, he sounds it. He's had loss in his life. He needs to go and see a professional. But anyway.
Who Lynette goes live confirming is almost 7 years old and still isn't potty trained. That's a major, major issue. Where are the individuals who are supposed to be protecting children? Oh, it must be that fat toothless flea. I'm going to protect children from all harm. What about the harm she's done? Literally frauding. I know it's defrauding. Her words. Frauding this family. Boy, if this is, you know what is pretty dysfunctional. I know one family that's a bit more dysfunctional, but dysfunctional family out of, by Flea's own words, over $100,000. And now she's being pulled into bankruptcy court for the live stream. Now, there are other issues about fundraising that was going to come down the pipeline anyway. She just found herself a one-way ticket into this federal bankruptcy court before we even anticipated. Lynette's claiming PTSD. Lynette's claiming abuse at home. So she can't answer. She can't remember anything. So Randy has to say, okay, all right, let's try and figure this out, because this is pretty important. Randy says, so if you give an answer one way, and then later it turns out that the answer is false, do you agree with me that that's a major factor in this case? That's a major issue. And that's going to be a problem in judging your credibility within this case. Lynette goes, I agree if somebody was lying to you. Really, the only thing Lynette knows how to do is lie.
Bunch of those.
Sorry. She's an ordained minister, pole dancer. Go figure that one out. I still haven't.
I'm one of those. Can you guess which? You're like, pole dancer? No, I'm not. That'd be the worst, most awkward thing ever. Oh, look at me. Oh. I'd be in traction afterwards.
To this day. Randy goes, okay, all right. Thank you. By the way, Randy has been so polite, always thanking her, positive reinforcement. So Randy goes, I'm just trying to figure this whole thing out, because I pointed something out to you that was not the truth, and then you said, I don't know. Lynette says, I have post-traumatic stress syndrome. It's a disorder. So I'm just trying to figure things out. How many pills do you think she popped before this deposition? Now, I didn't see anything on camera. Again, my camera was off and my sound was muted. I'm just fervently taking notes, right? So I'm looking down the entire time because I'm not looking up anyway. And Randy's camera is on, but there's not a camera actually on Lynette, but obviously there's sound. So I don't know if she's popping pills like she did in her first deposition, claiming it's Tylenol, and then chewing it. You understand what addicts do. They chew and crumble their pill, so the effect gets sooner in their system. That was in her first deposition, claiming it was Tylenol when we all know it wasn't. And we have confirmation of where she gets pills when she runs out of pills as well. Oh, from Kenny.
Yeah, you also, once a person starts doing that, they don't stop doing it. I'm not saying that she does. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying once you start using something inappropriately, you don't go back to an appropriate way. You know, there's like a gradual incline. You know, people bust those up, they them all kinds of stuff. You know, I'm not judging anybody for it's bad. I'm not saying it's good for you, but I'm not being like, oh, holier than thou bullshit. You know, I had my own problems with stuff. I went to a doctor at one time, and actually, I dealt with it for years. I think I had after talking to a doctor, I believe I had something on the inside of my appendix. It hadn't ruptured or anything. It took it a while too, but there was like a growth on it. You know, could have been cancerous. Stuff like that happens, and they have to catch it in a very specific manner. Well, my appendix, when I first started going to doctors about, I was having a pain in my side, and I went through testing regimens. I, in fact, went through them 3 times. I couldn't find anything, but I was having pain in my appendix area, and instead they just gave me lots and lots of pain medication, and then that managed it. But a few years later, it got to the point I started having that pain again, and I have a pain tolerance, but it got so bad I could not bear it. And I ended up going to the doctor over and over, and they told me there was nothing wrong with it. They told me I wasn't, you know, it must be something else. So I went to the specialist, and he gave me medication. Or I'm sorry, he gave me that stuff, that kidney wipe, you know, that where they give you like a thing for scanning. I can't remember what it's called, but you drink it and everything in your system, it flushes you, right? That way you can have tests. Well, after I took that, I had the worst pain I ever experienced through it. It was because my my appendix was inflamed and was getting ready to rupture. When that did that, it blocked that. It wouldn't let it go by because these people were idiots. So I ended up going to the, luckily, I mean, it was in so much pain. I went back to the ER yet again. I'd been there 5 times. Different hospitals, by the way. I went to Vanderbilt. I went to Cookeville Regional. I mean, I went to these places all over, not just the place down here. And I finally went back. I went to Murfreesboro, and they were like, yeah, your appendix has started rupturing. But after that, they told me there was a place inside of my appendix. But anyway, they I dealt with that for years because they couldn't figure that out. And man, I would do anything to keep that. You know, sometimes it would get so painful that I couldn't stand it. And you know, they at one time they would just give you, you know, it was like an open air market at one time. They just gave you and gave you and gave you. So I get it. I get that. But if you're to that point, you're not really doing yourself any favors. So, you know, you need to talk to them about another approach, because that's just masking some kind of symptom for some problem, or you're a drug addict.
We have it all in writing. Okay, so Randy goes, I pointed something out to you. It wasn't the truth. You said, I don't know. She says, I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm trying to figure this all out. And Randy goes, are you sure this is the reason why your answers are incorrect? And she's, I didn't do anything or say anything incorrect. I have not lied.
I like that.
This woman is evil. She's evil. He goes, it's not about a lie. It's about, you said you can't recall events.
Right.
You said it was untrue.
Yeah, her.
This is Lynette now saying to Randy, you said it was untrue. And I'm not giving you untrue statements at all. All right. I'm on the other end sitting here thinking, are you kidding me? She can't even answer what her legal name is. 45 minutes. What is your name?
That's crazy.
Randy then replies, okay, you started this whole line of questioning.
Hales is correct in stating that when she went on the 2L show, that was all damage control, man. It was amazing what she lied about. I mean, she did. She lied about a bunch of, I mean, provably lied about, sir. I mean, again, I dealt with her on my own, and I know some of this is lies, because I experienced some of it myself. So I know 100% that, you know, and again, you decide what you believe or you don't believe. But man, if you're dumb enough to think that all the text message, like for her contacting me, right? If you think multiple text messages that are still in her Facebook Messenger, by the way, Ask her to open it up and show you. That'd be a real rebuttal. And if she's deleted anything, I'll get somebody to open them up for you myself. But yeah, I've got them recorded there. But those, the time logs, heck, working on getting something else that'll be fun there. But her voice responding to me, I mean, if you think that that's not enough to be like, yeah. And remember, she's saying that is a real phone call. She's talking to Tina, and there's a male in the background, but she's totally not talking to that male. She totally didn't know they were there. I mean, again, if you don't see how bad that is as a lie, and she also lied about the information. She lied about what she did with said information too. But anyway.
I don't recall events. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. And then I had to go back and tell you, I had to ask you a question again, and you said that your post-traumatic stress disorder is all psychological. Oh, we already knew she was psycho.
Psychological.
So I just want to know, what other conditions are there that are hindering you today? What are the problems? She doesn't answer. She won't even look at him. He goes, please answer. How
that'd be
could
frustrating.
You answer questions? What's holding you back from answering questions truthfully with recalling situations, circumstances? And again, she's going to go on and on about an hour conversation with the Levy County engineer later, after she states that she can't remember anything. Well, sometimes she does. Sometimes she doesn't. It depends on when it's convenient, whether she's in a deposition or not. So he says, please answer.
Funny.
And he starts to ask a question. She interrupts yet again. And Randy goes, listen, you won't even let me finish the questions. So she won't answer a question. Then she's argumentative and won't let him ask a question. And he goes, okay, let's go over this again. All right. Other than post-traumatic stress disorder, she starts in on him again. And again, I can't keep actual notes of everything that's going on. And frankly, I'm going to be shocked if the court reporter actually has it all in the transcript as well, which I really hope she does. But how in the world is the court reporter supposed to put two comments over each other, arguments that are going at the same time while she's interrupting him? She's not going to be able to do that. You type it line by line. Randy saying this, Lynette saying this. She can't get both people speaking at the same time, which is why you stop and you pause and you wait and you take a...
That's true. Like they get irritated about crosstalk too. Court reporters get very irritated by that idea. So just to say, crosstalk is its absolute mess. I want to show you something, by the way. Tonight we are again working towards something very, very real. We are working toward dealing with that criminal Megan Fox. That's right. We need to sue her for our $40 dues so we can FOIA something. That's right. Even if we didn't need to FOIA something, we would still need to sue her for $40. So I was sent this beautiful, beautiful image, really kind of encapsulating that. Let me show you real quick, and then we'll go back to what we're doing. But check this out. This shows you exactly what happens there. We only need the $40. That's so funny. Now we need more than $40 to sue Megan Fox. Look at her there. Yep, that's a good judge. And look at, oh man, the pear-headed lawyer. Oh man, look at him go to town. That's how it goes. He's really he's really a great one. All right. Oh, it's gonna be so fun. Megan. I didn't make that, by the way. I didn't make that. You know who we blame that one on? The birthday boy. Well, birthday yesterday boy. Mr. Coop, it's your fault. Props to you, by the way. I enjoy Mr. Coop. It's funny.
Take a breath. Then you answer. Randy goes again. Here we go. I need you to look at me, ma'am. You need to look at me and answer these questions. Other than post-traumatic stress disorder, are there any other conditions that are affecting your ability to recall and remember events. I'm under a lot of trauma. Who put Lynette under this trauma? Nobody invited her to Otter Creek. Nobody invited her to stalk individuals. Nobody invited her to write, post, place signs all over Otter Creek. Nobody invited Crook to pull out firearms on people and point them.
True.
Nobody invited the harassment, agitation, the threats, physical, life threats that have come from Lynette and those who claim to support her.
That is
while
true.
They steal from her.
Yeah. I was, by the way, the comments have been getting really nasty over on that side of the fence of just, it's some gross stuff. You know, I've never understood, again, if you want to dislike a Hales, whatever, you want to dislike a person like myself, cool, that's fine. But throwing in with some of these people, you have to be a real piece of shit to do that. You do. You know, it tells me plenty about the folks that I see there. But I digress. I think it's interesting that there is another money thing going on. And again, Lynette Preston is just sitting there. She's too stupid to realize these people are going on without her. You know, they will feed her enough spare change to, if they need her and she's useful in that moment, then they'll be able to grin. But again, pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar.
A lot of trauma. I'm under a lot of stress. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't think it's post. I think it's current. The screaming, the yelling, her and Crook together. It's absolute insanity. I've only met one person in my life that screams more.
That's me. He's talking about me.
Who had a horrific childhood, who knew nothing but abuse and screaming and yelling and physical fighting and. And I say "and" a lot. That might. She goes, "This is what's going on with me today. Trauma, stress."
What's that? Is I was like, "That's me."
Okay.
And then he got all this horrible. I was like, "Well, I'll retract that. Sorry." Whoops.
Do those things that are going on with you today that you've mentioned, does that affect your ability to concentrate during this deposition here today? You wouldn't believe it. Lynette's answer: no. None of those things that are going on today affect her ability to concentrate today. They don't affect her ability to answer questions truthfully. Randy goes,
well, really,
let's go back to the deed again.
None of that stuff affects her ability to answer the truth, to answer truthfully. The thing that affects her is her. She doesn't have some medical condition that's knocking her ability down or whatever. It's her. If she lies, she's lying. So, that's that. I mean, that's the reality of it. So yeah, she makes up all this stuff that if you wanted to say that keeps me from answering truthfully this or that, you would need a little more than, hey, this is what's wrong with me. Serious law.
In Otter Creek, Turd Purgatory, the deed. He goes, well, let's make sure we have this answer very clear on the record. Earlier in the deposition, you said that it wasn't you that typed out this deed for Turd Purgatory. Again, he didn't say Turd Purgatory. I don't even know if he said the address. I don't have that written down. I'm just calling it Turd Purgatory. But it could have just been the property for Otter Creek property, whatever was said on the record. Once we get the transcript,
I'm disappointed to know that's not what he said.
Right.
Damn it.
I'm paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing?
To the best of my ability.
You're paraphrasing?
That's
what Jay does.
So you didn't type up the deed, correct? And you said that it was the seller, and you didn't have a lawyer, and you said it was the seller's lawyer that actually typed up the deed, correct? She answers, right, yeah. And he then asked her, Okay, do you know who actually typed up the deed then?
What?
And she goes, well, I haven't seen it. He goes, I've shown it to you. It's literally in front of you. He has the physical deed. The physical deed is very different than what's on the recorder or the records office in Levy County. Completely and totally different. A screenshot from the records office, a screenshot from the recorder's website is not the same as the actual physical deed, nor does it carry any legal weight as the actual physical deed. So you morons, you fools, you freaks, you felons out there that want to keep saying, well, I saw this on the recorder's page. You're just as dumb as them. The recorder's page means nothing. The physical actual deed means everything. And they're not the same.
Yeah, I got to bust them down when they try to pull all
He goes, I've already
up.
showed it to you. She says, I have no idea who wrote it. Okay, well, then let's look and see. We literally have a copy of it here today. Okay. And he's asking her, can you see this? Remember, we have all the exhibits as well. And he's asking her, Randis, can you see this? And are you seeing it all right? And can you see where it was prepared? And it tells you who prepared it, who typed it, who wrote it. And she says, it's the lawyer, Jonathan, whatever his name is. He wrote the deed, not me. She's about to lose everything in her life. Literally. Yep. Deuce served it to us on a silver platter.
He did that?
She's blaming the lawyer who wrote the deed now and not Deuce. Fleesa frauded her out of over $100,000, and she's blaming the lawyer of the sellers who wrote the deed and not Fleesa. Make this make sense for me. Okay.
I want my mood at all.
So Randy goes, okay, well then let's see. See exactly. She goes, we're going to find out. He goes, we're going to find out who wrote it. It's right here on the actual real deed, the warranty deed. And she goes on, it's the lawyer for the thingy, for the sale of the house. I did not type it. I don't know. I don't recall. Randy goes, whoa, look at that. I don't know and I don't recall. He goes, you know what? That is a very good answer. And he said this from the very beginning. Don't guess. Yep. We're all here for the same thing. Truth. All we want is truth. If you don't recall, just say, I don't recall. We finally get a good answer. He goes, all right, if you don't really recall, then that's the answer we want. Do you understand that? She says, yes. And she goes, I'm not a good speaker. And she starts screaming and yelling about all kinds of stuff. Randy goes, listen, I need you to look at me again when you answer me. Thank you. Then she looks away again. He's like, you need to look at me so I can base your credibility. It affects my ability to understand whether you are a credible person or giving me a credible answer or not. And you understand when people are looking away constantly when they're answering a question. My goodness, that is a sign for deceit, lying. That's all she's doing.
Never.
Okay. So Randy literally has to give her instructions. Saran Wrap is listening to this, and Saran Wrap is going to get involved very soon here. And he goes, now you just turn to your head to the left, to the right. She won't look at him. She will not look at him and give a straight answer. And there's this whole commotion. He goes, okay. Did you ever have any written communication with this lawyer? Bennett, right? Is that who it was? Was it Bennett? I can't even remember anymore who actually wrote it. I know Bennett was one of her many, many names.
Yeah.
So we'll just say it was Bennett Law. I think it was Bennett. Did you have any communication with this lawyer? She goes, I'm sure we did. Wait, we?
We?
John Crook's name is not on this deed at all. Anywhere. Nowhere.
Recorder's office? The little piece.
That's not legal. That means nothing. That's just inputting cells on a website. It means nothing. The deed is everything. He goes, we did. She says, we did. I'm sure we did. I don't recall what. I'm not sure we did. We bought a house. I'm not going to argue with you. Except she has.
I really hope she makes that.
Literally, that's what she does when she looks at you and she answers. You've seen it in her video deposition on the thumbnail case, which she claims there's no judgment against her when there is literally sanctions, legal fees, judgment against her. Oh, my goodness. Randy goes on to say, okay, well, does the deed say it's a house or is it a vacant land? She goes, it's not vacant land. It had 3 houses on it.
3 houses housing.
3 structures on a piece of property means absolutely nothing if legally it's considered condemned. 3 structures are condemned. It is now vacant land. Legal. You think these fools know anything about legal? The answer is probably no.
No, I do not.
All right, so he asked.
I do not think that at all.
And we finally get an answer. It had 3 houses on it. Now, those were not houses. Those were condemned cesspools of garbage. It is literally used as a dumping ground for people in Otter Creek and surrounding area, which I don't understand why people even do this. Why don't they take care of what God has given them?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Randy goes, okay, 3 houses on it. What does the deed say? The only thing that matters is what does the deed say? That's it. That's the legal document. And he says, does it say there's anything about houses on the property? She goes, it's a property, a property. Please show me where it says it's vacant land. Randy goes, good. I'm literally going to show you on your deed where it says vacant land. She said, because I have proof that it had 3 houses on it and Levy County's aware of 3 houses on it. They're the ones that came and told us we had to take it down. It was not good enough condition, the main house for repairs. That's called condemned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Therefore, it's vacant land.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real problem there. When that is actually you making the point. Or that again, Lynette, what's crazy about this story is, do you think people were rooting for you to lose everything? But people were actually rooting for you to have an epiphany and, stop. that's what people rooted for. They'd hoped that all the craziness that, something would click and just people would stop being stupid and crazy. But they didn't. It never stopped. It's kind of wild when you think about it. Indeed. Well,
Randy goes, we're going to talk about that in just a second here. And she's screaming and yelling, so please, where is it? Show it to me. Show it to me. Where is it?
Show it to me.
Yelling and screaming. He goes, okay. And this is one of the things here.
Wait. I must
ask the questions today.
This is very important. As Mr. Coop said, all I would like for my birthday is 40 clams for Sir Tug. That's right. 40 clams for Sir Tug to sue the evil fox lady. That's right. That's right. Now, we need to step, now you got to think about this in hot plates. Really, it would have been more appropriate. We're not actually looking for $40 dues to sue. We're looking for 40 hot plates, which is, well, more. So if you would like to help us sue the evil Megalodonus foe, then get in here. We will definitely. And look, Mr. Coop, for his birthday, he's like, please. He could have been out there and say, please, help Sally Struthers feed those children in the other continents. But no, he was like that evil Megan Fox. She needs to be taken down. I agree.
I am the one that gets to ask the questions today. You don't get to sit there and go, please show me. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I ask you the questions. You don't. So I'm really trying to drill down on this. How did the name Lynette MLA Preston get on a deed? Now, this Jonathan is a lawyer. It wasn't Bennett, was it? It was Jonathan. maybe it was Bennett. I can't remember now. I can't even remember. You guys probably remember who the lawyer or the law firm was. I threw those notes away already. I should be auctioning my notes off. Do something with them. Somebody could put them up on the wall. He goes, this lawyer, Jonathan, he's in Orlando, Florida. Is that right? She goes, I have no idea. Randy goes, well, didn't you meet with him? And she goes, I know that we went to a closing near Northport, and that's where we went in Northport to close on this property. I believe. And Randy's trying to ask questions and during this time, and she's going on and on about Northport and property and this and meeting the lawyer, and it was the lawyer and it wasn't her, and it has nothing to, and there's houses and it's not vacant land, and she's just going on and on and on and on and on and on. Randy says, so you didn't have to sign the warranty deed. We've been through that, right? She goes, I don't recall. He goes, okay, well, we're going to have to establish this on the record. Look at the deed. Look at every piece, every line. She goes, no, sir, I did not have to sign that document. He goes, okay, so when you went to the title office in Northport for the closing for this property that's currently in question, the Otter Creek property, did you go one time for closing? This was like a one-time meeting with this lawyer for closing. Is that right? She goes, well, I surely hope so. Did you have a realtor that you hired to do this deal? Or did you represent yourself in this transaction? It's correct. You did represent yourself in this transaction, right? She goes, no, it was Bennett. It just came up in my notes. It's Bennett. It was Bennett. It was handled by Bennett. It was Bennett Law Firm. Handled by, I wrote it down again. It's handled by Bennett. Randy goes, well, you represented yourself. You represented yourself in the transaction. Is that correct? And at one point she goes, crap! On the record. I really, really hope that the court reporter has that on the record, her saying crap. He goes, you didn't have anybody representing you in this real estate transaction in question, right? Hynek goes, no, I guess not. And she's getting meaner by the moment. Okay. Yeah, every question she's getting meaner, interrupting more, and not behaving.
Meta.
He goes, thank you. And Randy's still being polite. Thank you. And you didn't have any independent recollection of how the name Lynette MLA Preston even got on the deed. Is that right? She goes, I have.
You know what's really funny is Anti still don't seem to get what creditor is about. They don't understand that Jeremy Hales was added as a creditor. She already owed him money. She owed him money out of Ohio. Plus, well, it just keeps growing. Let's just say it just keeps growing. But they don't seem to get it. They're like, oh, it's a potential. No, actual creditor with even more potential. Lots of potential.
No idea. We don't have a legal name on the deed. We have a non-legal name for Lynette on the deed. There is no John Crook on the deed whatsoever. Any variation of his name. None. We're going to get to that. And Randy goes, and you didn't tell them to put your name on it that way, did you? She goes, it's the way it is. It is what it is.
Just the way it is.
When you say you have no idea, or you say you don't recall, is it possible that you did tell them to put your name on there as Lynette MLA Preston? She goes, nope. I thought earlier in the deposition she said that that's what she tells everybody. Her name is MLA. It's Lynette MLA Preston. That's how she signs. That's what she tells people because her name is just too long. Well, maybe you shouldn't be doing stupid stuff with your name.
Yeah, probably not.
Nobody knows who this woman is. Literally, nobody knows legally who this woman is. We get a note.
That is
Randy
bizarre.
goes, well, here it is again. And by the way, there's just screaming, yelling, bickering, interruptions, the whole deal. Randy goes, well, here it is again. There it is again. More interruption. He goes, saran wrap. He uses It doesn't say Saran Wrap. I'm saying Saran Wrap to protect Saran Wrap's actual name.
You know, what's funny is, see, these people, they demand that people not use their real names half the time, and you know, people get used to it. I am of the habit typically of using people's names, so I will end up using names, and then you know, I'll do it around like on a channel, and I'm like, oops, I forgot nickname, my bad. So it's kind of funny sometimes, like, well, but sorry about that. That was my fault.
Legal counsel. He goes, I really need you to control your client. We are not doing this again. It's not happening again. The interruptions, this is not the first time. This is multiple times. These acts, these interruptions, these intentional attempts are not helping this process at all. And it's extremely distracting. They have got to stop. Saran Wrap, please instruct your client to wait until a question is finished before she answers. Saran Wrap replies, can we go off the record for a moment? And Randy goes, no. Is there something you want me to check on the record? And he goes, no. I just, can we go off the record for a moment? Now, you understand what Saran Wrap is trying to do. Saran Wrap doesn't want to rebuke Lynette on the record, which is going to get way past that in this deposition. He's going to start rebuking her.
Isn't that crazy?
And Randy goes, listen, I just want you to take care of the witness. Tell her to please stop interrupting me. Wait until the question is completed before she begins her answers. And Saran Wrap goes, I understand that, Mr. Shaka. I just figured it would probably be most appropriate to do that off the record. He goes, but you will do it.
It's more
right?
better for him,
is
what it is.
All right, Randy goes, all right, we'll take 2 minutes.
I said more better. That's terrible. It's better for him, more better.
Saran Wrap gets her on the phone again to tell her what's appropriate, what's inappropriate in a court setting, in a deposition, what she should be doing, what she shouldn't be doing. Now, he's doing a very good job, a very, very, very good job. Okay?
Most people understand that. You know,
he's doing an incredible.
If you go into court, you kind of understand what behavior is expected of you, right? I mean, you know, for example, that like if you go into a court, you're not going to, you're not going to act like that evil Megan Melissa Fox who we are suing for $40, right? I mean, you do understand that. You want to act more like Lynette. Wait, no, that's not right. Hashtag suing Megan Fox.
Double job. And he's been very professional and very polite. That's kind of going to go out the window. He's trying to be professional and keeping the rebukes off the record.
Yeah.
You
don't want to do that to your
client.
client.
The record very, very soon. It gets crazier. Buckle up. We're back from the break. Saran Wrap has reprimanded Lynette, and we get right into it. Randy says, all right, let's get back to the question. The question began, we're trying to figure out why on this legal document, why didn't you sign it? It says the owner of this property in question, Lynette MLA Preston. You know, you did list your last name as Lynette MLA Preston.
Yeah.
Have you done this on any other paperwork in connection with this closing? Did you do it by yourself? Yes or no? That's all I want. A yes or no. Nothing else. Yes or no.
It's very difficult.
I don't recall.
Do you not know that?
Thank you.
Very
Randy
difficult
says.
to get a yes or a no.
Is it possible you did? Now, you see, Saran Wrap got her on the phone and said, listen, you just say you don't recall. You don't recall. I mean, this is the Bill Clinton thing, right?
Yeah.
I have no recollection. Even though all the evidence is already there. Randy has all the evidence, and he's giving it to everybody else in this meeting as well. She could claim she doesn't recall. All the evidence is going to be shown in court. And frankly, I don't even think there's going to be a trial anymore. I honestly believe we're probably just going to get a default judgment based on her behavior. Now, I can't guarantee it.
Well, we'll see.
But it very well could happen.
You never know. Like,
so now
the courts bend over back. Here's the thing. in bankruptcy, the courts do try to bend over backwards and help a person in bankruptcy. But unfortunately for Lynette, the courts also, there is a limit to their patience, you know, so they do want to work with you. They do want you to walk away clearing. And again, you know, unlike what the antis seem to think, which is bankruptcy is some kind of criminal thing, it is not. You know, it's criminal unless we're talking about Lynette Preston. They do. They seem to think that bankruptcy really is criminal. It's very strange. But no, courts do want you to be able to utilize those protections. If you don't have the money, if you don't have it, you don't have it, right? But they don't want you misusing the court and monopolizing their time, because that is what we've been looking at.
Oh, Saran Wrap has told her.
My pause game has been good today, by the way. We got some crazy Journey Hill.
So she says, I don't recall. Well, Randy can get around that by saying, is it possible, though, that you did? She goes, I don't recall. He goes, I didn't ask you if you recalled. I asked if there's a possibility. So you see, Randy's no longer asking about a recollection, right? Because she has PTSD.
Yep.
The abuse, the stress, it's too much for her. He's just going to ask, is there a possibility? Yep. He's not saying, do you remember? He's saying, it's a possibility you actually did this. And the possibility, there's always a possibility for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Randy goes, have you ever used this name in a legal document before? Lynette, MLA, Preston. She says, yes. Okay. What legal document?
Well.
She goes, that's my signature. She goes, every time I go to put my name on documents, everyone tells me to shorten it up. There's not enough space in legal documents. That's my signature. Sometimes I sign Lynette Preston. Sometimes I shorten it. MLA. Randy says, thank you.
That's what I do.
And depending on what they tell you to do, let's apply that to the top of this deed right here. Can you read the portion of the actual deed? By the way, this is not on the recorder's website. She goes, I can't. She's already gone back and forth with him. I'm not touching your laptop. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. She reads it. And it states this on the top of the deed. 1 second. There it is. Okay, I have it. All right. I have a copy of the deed now. This is, and she says it verbatim. She does read it. The deed, this is the top of the deed. The actual legal deed. Very, very important that the world understands, the planet understands. This is the actual legal deed. The only thing that is legal is the deed. This is the only thing that matters in the court. This deed has been prepared from information provided by one or more of the parties.
Prepared? Pair? Oh, God.
By one or more of the parties.
That means Jay's involved.
And has not been independently verified or confirmed by Bennett Law Center. Parties have not authorized Bennett Law Center to conduct a title search. Keep this in mind because she claims that she gets her money back from him for this. Parties have not authorized Bennett Law Center to conduct a title search or other title work. The parties acknowledge and agree that this deed was prepared without Bennett Law doing a title search.
Oh, wow.
And that the title is conveyed subject to any and all. We go on and on, right? Okay.
Yep.
Randy goes on, you understand what all of this means? This is all the legalese up top. In other words, they bought the property sight unseen, no title search, no nothing whatsoever. And they said, I'll take it as is in the condition that it is currently. Isn't it? Nothing. Now, when I bought the 70 acres, I did a survey afterwards. It's typically the seller's problem to and responsibility to do a survey while you're selling. If I were to sell Hale's headquarters, I would have a survey done before I ask people to spend millions of dollars and go, here you go. Here's where your actual property lines are. You don't have to get a survey done. It's just strongly encourage, and it's done 99.99% of the time.
Yeah, most
now,
people
you
do
know why bad Tina Haley did not get a property search done, because she knew about the encroachments, and she sold the property with knowing the encroachments. That's what makes the sale illegal on the 70 acres. Everything else was done. Title searches, everything. Lynette goes, nothing. We waived everything. She goes, yes. Randy goes, okay, well then how do you understand it? You just read it to me. How do you understand it?
That's a good question, actually. How does she understand what's on there?
She says, he said they're saying that they didn't do a title search, and they don't do a title search, and it's not on the record. They prepared the document without doing it. No, they prepared the document with her saying, I'm not having it done.
Right.
They would have done it if they got paid for it.
Yep. That's the thing. She didn't want to pay for it.
Lynette didn't want it.
Well, she didn't want to pay for it. She thought it was unnecessary. See, a lot of, you know, it's one of those things in life, I suppose, where, you know, you run across things and you're like, well, do I need this or not? Sometimes you don't. Like for example, I have a TV that I really like, right? It's my favorite thing that I've ever gotten out of it. I wanted a big TV. I've always wanted a decent TV. I have one down here as part of my work area. I use it when I'm working on stuff, but I use it for leisure. I like it, you know? Well, in it, I was offered a warranty with it. And, you know, a lot of people do not take warranties with stuff. And I don't take warranties on everything, right? But with it, I did take one because I like it. You know, I really like it. Well, lo and behold, right before the warranty expired, my TV stopped working right. So I ended up having to have some stuff worked on, and people come out, do it, replace something. And even with the warranty, you know, you have to pay like $100 or whatever, but they gave me the bill that it knocked out, and it was something like, if they wanted to fix it, it would have been $584. So it's like, huh. So my whatever, $8 or whatever that I'd pay for it, it actually worked out because I'd had it for a warranty for 2 years. So point of the story is sometimes you don't need that crap. You know, you decide what risk. And Lynette decided that she didn't want to pay for something, and that's your right. You can decide what you don't pay for, but sometimes you get bit in the buttocks for it.
Parties authorized Bennett Law Center to not do that, right? She goes, "That's what it says." Randy goes, "Okay."
Yeah.
Did you not authorize Bennett Law Center to conduct a title search? She goes, "Not yet. And at that time, I was asked a question, but we didn't pay for a title search." Keep this in mind. She literally says under oath, we didn't pay for a title search. We paid several $1,000s for a title search later because we're the purchasers of the property, but we never got it.
Wait,
so she's saying she did not have them do a title search under the aspect of buying the property, but then she wanted a title search later. This never happened. This is another bold-faced lie.
Why would you do that?
And she goes on to say, we turned them into the Florida bar. So now she's claiming she turned Bennett Law Center into the Florida bar. I don't have time to search this right now with the Florida bar. Anybody out there, you private journalists, you investigative journalists, you want to go ahead and search and see.
Hey, has anybody looked that up, by the way?
Made a bar complaint against Bennett Law Center.
If somebody has looked that up, pro or con,
Florida, have at it. I guarantee you're going to find nothing. But this is what she just claimed on the record. But we can bring it up in federal court.
I'm curious if anything was
showing that she is not a credible individual by any stretch of the imagination. Everything comes out.
You know what I find a problem with that is Lynette Preston. This is before Bruce or any of them came in. She knew about bar complaining. See, a lot of people don't understand that you can turn people in and complain about them. And the ones that do understand that, well, sometimes it's because they've dealt with bad people, but it also sometimes it's because they engage in effery, and they like to screw over folks too. So that's just a little warning to the lawyers out there. Usually, most lawyers will notice and be like,
Putrid, horrific, hellish mouth is a lie. Now she's claiming made a bar complaint. Well, we'll see about that. Randy goes, who's we? Who's we made a bar complaint?
Right.
You know, like Crook filing bar complaints.
Yeah.
Literally forwarding the information that Lips told him to file.
You catch this story, by the way, which is interesting. I like talking about this because I think it's funny. So Lips decided that she wanted everybody to file bar complaints, right? So, and she decided to get everybody to quite literally file this same bar complaint. She sent something out to John Cook, and in sending something out to John Cook, she told him, hey, I want you to file this bar complaint. So, you know, file it as your own. Well, instead of filing as his own, like she wanted, you know, where you take the bar complaint, you put in your own email and you do your own thing, he decided to take and forward her email and write into the part, like copy and paste into there that the stuff is his. But the way that he does it is that he leaves the forward apparently attached to it. So he kind of admits that it's hers by, you know, leaving the original attached at the bottom. That's pretty dumb, by the way. I mean, but I wouldn't expect anything more from these folks, you know, honestly. But you have to admit that is pretty entertaining. They prove that not only is she manipulating and trying to get them to do certain legal deeds, but also, who's trying to get everyone else
forwarding her, telling him,
isn't that weird?
Send this to the. It's unlicensed practice of the law.
That's crazy, isn't it?
By a permanently retired lawyer who is going to be stripped of her license. I mean, they would have done it anyway if she went forward with the discipline, but she's a coward. So she wanted to file for permanent retirement instead.
See,
pathetic.
She's mad at Jeremy for statements like this.
All right, she goes on to say,
these are the kind of things this is why you have complaints where person goes from, hey, I want to load this storage unit with Jeremy Hales. Everything's hunky-dory according to her, to, you know, well, I mean, again, best case scenario. Isn't that weird? I mean, she wanted to do more than load storage units. She wanted to, yeah, she said some pretty frisky things to him. So, you know, I mean, like I said, we saw a little bit of that, but we did not get the whole story off of that. Again, she was sending some pretty frisky things. So, yeah. But remember, that was just, I don't know what the excuse behind that. Like, well, I totally didn't mean it. I was just making that stuff up. It was, I don't know. I'm not really sure. But that went from there to, even she did not allege that Hales did anything like that to her. Thank God. She wasn't able to come up with any. Never mind. I'm going to stop my thought. I thought it's something really awful and gross.
Hey, Lynette.
John, I just killed
myself, because we're the purchasers of this beautiful property. It's a legacy. It's a legacy, I tell you. Why wasn't the other property in Northport a legacy? I mean, it was beautifully remodeled, redone. But somebody else paying for it. Whole nother organization. As if these freaks have ever paid for anything in their life.
It's true, too.
They're about to. In court. They're going to pay very heavily. All right. So she goes on, we're the purchasers of the property. And Randy goes, okay, just so I have this straight, you blame Bennett Law Center for not doing a title search. She goes, yes, absolutely. Okay. So they're saying in the recorded deed in the document that you didn't authorize them to do a title search. Isn't that what they're saying? She goes, we paid them separately aside from this. We paid them separately to do a title search. By the way, that doesn't happen in the sale of a property, first of all. I mean, it could. Would you ever believe anything that comes out of this mouth?
I wouldn't believe anything.
And they didn't do it afterwards.
Just to be honest.
And Randy's going, okay, hold a second. So after the closing, you then asked, keep in mind, Lynette and Crook both have over 60 grand cash in their pocket right now. They bought a rug house in Northport. Then they had another organization come in. How in the world they scammed and conned them to remodel everything? I don't understand, but they did. And then they flipped it immediately for a profit. Now, it seems to me like if it was Habitat for Humanity came in, there would be stipulations. You cannot turn this over for sale.
You would think, like that's something that bothers me in it. Typically, you would think if Habitat for Humanity is coughing up dollar dues, right? You would think that there would be something that says you can't dump this into the open market. I would think there would be something on there, but I guess I'm wrong.
Cannot do that. Cannot do this. Cannot do that. And yet Lynette keeps telling us that it was just beautifully remodeled. And then they sold it.
Maybe people maybe they don't expect that. Maybe when you hear, oh man, we're in need, we want, maybe it's in the pitch. Is that how it works? Is it just in the pitch? Like, hey, we want to do this, we want to do that, and they believe it.
Why would you not do a title search when every title search, 99.9999999% of title searches are done when you are buying property for the sale of the property? She goes, no, we paid them separately from this. And they didn't do it. So Randy goes, okay, I've got questions. So I'm sure we all do right now because none of this makes sense. But of course, it's all lies too. So how's a lie ever going to make sense anyway? So after closing, Randy goes, you then asked Bennett Law Center to do a title search and you paid them? Lynette, I believe so. Yes, I believe. You either know or you don't. Something so serious. She literally just said that she filed a bar complaint on Bennett Law Center. When's the bar complaints coming for Deuce, Scott Stark, Saran Wrap, Silver Scam? Want me to keep going on? But she can remember filing a bar complaint against this organization. But now she can't remember. She's just going, I believe so. Listen, this should be an absolute. Yes, we did. And they did not come through with it. Therefore, we filed a bar complaint. So she knows they filed a bar complaint. Now she can't remember 100% accurately. Why?
They don't remember.
It's just, I believe. Yes, I believe.
That's kind of funny.
No, it's, I did. Yes, I did. But now it's, I believe. Yes, I believe. And we are going to have this verified.
Yeah, of course.
Randy then goes, okay, well, how did you pay Bennett Law Center? Was it a check? Was it a cash? She goes, I don't recall. Fair enough. I mean, I make a lot of payments. A lot of payments.
I doubt
there's months where the invoices are over $100,000 a month. Invoices that I have to pay out. Over $100,000 a month running multiple businesses. Most of those are done digitally now. Very few times.
It's funny. My expenses are like, well, yeah, I use ChatGPT because that's where my thumbnails come from. I use it to goof off too and make, cool That Umbrella Guy pictures. I use Suno, because I make music, and I use Grok because I ask it stupid questions and I make videos. Those are some of mine. Those are my employees. Oh, Lord.
Right checks, but
Different worlds. Different worlds.
3 checkbooks.
It's hilarious.
Different businesses. And in my business as well, when buying storage units, garage sales, there's cash. I don't always remember, but you probably 95, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could probably tell you how they actually got paid. Randy then goes on, you're saying you did a Florida bar complaint against Bennett Law Firm? She goes, yes, sir. Okay, well, what happened? What was the result of that?
Right.
She literally goes on to say, they got scolded. They got scolded, they got reprimanded, and our money was returned. I would have loved to know. Was this cash? Was it check? She follows it up with, I believe our money was returned to the best of my knowledge. It was returned. Randy goes, okay. You never authorized them to conduct a title search with the closing. Is that right? She goes, I don't recall in the beginning. We weren't represented.
Well.
How many times on the record has Lynette already said that they did not authorize them? She literally read it from the deed that Bennett Law Center was not authorized to do a title search for them. And now she stated on the record that they paid them aside after the closing. And now she's stating on the record, I don't know. We weren't represented. PTSD. Randy being frustrated as well as, okay, we'll come back to that. Randy says, okay, again,
I imagine Randy would get
nowhere
frustrated.
on the deed does it say 50-50 percentage owners of interest, right? Bum, bum, bum. Just so we're very clear.
So
nowhere
on the deed is it
does
listed.
it list John Crook as an owner of the property. Don't you worry, Lynette's got this. It says it on the Levy County site. You and I understand that means nothing.
The site, yeah.
Absolutely nothing. The Levy County site means nothing. The deed is the only legal document.
I can report a lot
Levy
of
County
things.
Site,
The
if
Levy
they
County
walk
site.
into the recorder's office and go, hey, put this on the Levy County site. I could go in there right now and go, put myself and George 50-50 on the ranch property, the school property, any of my properties. Now, let me be very clear. George does not own any of my properties. She has no ownership in them whatsoever. She never has. She owns her own things. I own my own things. And nor do I believe that me being in a relationship, anybody should ever have 50% ownership unless we built it together.
Well,
and she came in.
You also marry, well, even with marriage, I think, you know, you got to be, you separate your stuff. I do believe that for sure, unless you have a business contract.
Later.
Anyway, I'm not talking about their thing, just myself.
You know, there's people literally online going, he called her an employee. You know what happens when somebody gets a paycheck from somebody?
Actually, I saw people saying that, like that was some big gotcha. Well, that was the truth, though. They work for the company. I mean, that isn't about. It's not a dirty word or something, you know. You know, was it?
But seeing if you need anything.
Huh? I couldn't hear it. What?
Seeing if you need anything before I go make some mac and cheese in the pot.
No, I'm good. I appreciate it, though. You hanging out with Sissy? You chillaxing with Sissy?
Yep.
All right, y'all having fun?
Yep.
Okay. All right. But no, I appreciate it. Thanks for checking on me.
They're an employee.
Thank you, kiddo.
My goodness. Oh, no. Oh, Deanna's an employee. Christian and Patience are employees.
She's done so much older, you know.
You've never even met before. You don't
this
even
year she
know
turns
their
13.
names.
So,
of course, I'm sure some of you out there would like to write their moms and dads some letters. You freaks. Employers pay their employees.
Yep.
I could have names put on websites. I could put all of your names viewing right now on a website and say we all own a percentage of Hale's headquarters. Doesn't matter. The deed says Hale's Family Trust owns it. That's the only thing.
Here's the internet. Okay, so somebody sent me something, and this is actually kind of interesting. There was a post with Lynette, plus there's a document on it that notes that the money there, even though they say it was X, Y, or Z, it looks like a mortgage. It looks like they had a mortgage with the town that they had to pay back like $60,000. So it wasn't free money that they got from like Habitat for Humanity or whatever. It looks like it may well have been a loan that came out of the sale price of the home. You know, that's quite a bit of money too. That's what it looks like though. And there's comments about it too. Like Preston had a message come up saying, unfortunately, I can't, but the house is paid for except for the $58,000 remodeling loan through the city or the county of Sarasota. So I just said thank you too. Thank you for that.
Only thing. Randy goes again, nowhere in the deed does the ownership interest say 50%. Does it show it anywhere on the deed? You're looking at it right now on this property. And Lynette says under oath, on the deed, no, it does not. Somebody said if I had aces, I should play them. Boom! There's your aces. Crook has no legal ownership of Turd Purgatory. Not a single bit or percentage. Nothing. He won't be there long. Randy says, does 50% ownership interest in this property show up anywhere on the deed? She goes, I don't know if it's on the deed or not, but it does show up. We went to the Levy County recorder and we made sure that they realized this is a 50-50 purchase. Means nothing legally. I could write stuff right now and say Lynette owns 50% of Hale's headquarters. I could go there right now. You know what she owns? Nothing.
Right. You have to have it on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of work. Actually, you do have to have specific things happen before. I know, like getting my, the house over for like myself. Like it had to go. We had to go through certain things. It's a very specific process, When things are changed over, it's not as easy as, oh, now I've got this, it's mine. That's not how it works.
The Levy County site that it's a 50-50 purchase. Randy goes, have you ever done any additional deed work to the document at the recorder's office to change this to a 50-50 ownership?
Right.
She goes, I'm not sure if they put it on the deed or not, or how they did it, but it says it on the site. The site, again, means absolutely nothing. He goes, I'm not asking you what they're doing. I'm not asking you what's on the site. I'm asking you what you're doing. Have you ever had the deed changed? If you had another deed updated, recorded, have you quit claimed 50% of the property over to John Crook? That shows clearly in the recorder's office that the ownership interest in the property is 50% to John Crook and 50% to Lynette MLA Preston. Doesn't matter. And how did you wind up acquiring ownership interest in this property? The percentage is what's in question right now. And if you don't understand the question, just ask me to rephrase it. You didn't have a lawyer.
Right.
How'd you end up in getting in contact with the sellers Big Sis, Little Sis Inc. It's a New York incorporation. Lynette goes on to say, it was for tax sale. Now, let me be very clear. Lynette never knew about tax sales. She went back in the recorder's website, where she now is claiming 50% crook, 50%, and she saw that there were tax sales in the past. She has no clue at all how to find tax sales on properties in Florida in Levy County. None. Nor am I going to tell her, nor should you be telling her, because she's under oath and she proves she has none whatsoever. She goes, it was up for tax sale. And by the way, it is not easy to find tax sale. You have to walk. I'm not even going to tell you. And she never walked in anywhere. As I almost said, walk in. She never walked in anywhere. She was hours and hours south. He goes, okay, well, what was up for tax sale? She goes, my property was up for tax sale. I found it for sale. I had looked at it many times over several years. It was up for sale. And so I contacted the selling real estate agent. Excuse me, what? She claims she found it because it was up for tax sale. Now she's claiming she contacted a real estate agent. Now, you don't have to be a genius in real estate. I've been buying real estate since the age of 19. Tax sale has no real estate agent. So which is it? She can't even keep it straight. Her own lies. She can't even keep her own lies straight. Randy goes, okay, keep lying to me. Let's go down this path. She says, okay, how many what was it up for tax sale? And what was the tax sale for? Oh, here we are in my notes. What year were the taxes? And she's going, well, 2018 and 19 and 2020. And when we bought it in 21, wasn't up for tax sale in 21. She didn't even know about it. She found it up for sale online, doing searches in 21 because myself and George were in Otter Creek and she's a freak. Randy goes, so you bought it and it was up for sale online? She goes, I checked to see if the property was still up for sale. We found out our child was ill and it was, so I purchased it. Randy goes, okay, so when you purchased it, it wasn't up for tax sale in 2020, 2021. I'm not sure whether it was or not, but I purchased it and we bought it from them. She had bought it on tax sale. No, here we go. Previous owners bought it on tax sale. The only reason why Lynette can keep saying tax sales because she knows from the recorder's office that they bought it at tax sale. Lynette has no clue how to buy property in Levy County, Florida, via tax sale. None. If you were to ask her right now with no prepping, no prompting, no Googling, no communication whatsoever, she wouldn't be able to utter the first thing that you have to do, which let me share with you. The first thing you have to do is pay their taxes. That's the way it works in Florida. What a fool. What a complete and total fool. You have to pay their taxes for so many years, then they owe you taxes. And if they don't pay you back taxes, then you own the property. This is a years stretched out process for tax sale in Florida. I have a piece of property that I bought at tax sale in Ohio. Very different process. I bought it from the sheriff. That's where Christian and Patience live. So Randy goes, okay, when you say she bought it at tax sale, who's she? Lynette goes, the two sisters who bought it. Do you know who these two sisters are? They're not listed. Two individuals, sellers of the property. She goes, there's two sisters, the ones who sold the property. Randy goes, okay, the two sisters. What does that even mean? She goes, the name of their company is Two Sisters. Randy goes, Two Sisters? Questioning. That's the name of their company. Randy goes, it's not Big Sis, Little Sis Incorporated? She goes, okay, so I'm mistaken. It's maybe Big Sis, Little Sis. probably with my memory. PTSD. Abuse, stress, you know. She goes, yes, it's big sis, it's little sis, probably aunt, maybe. How in the world an aunt comes into play, I have no idea. She goes, I'm not sure. I made a mistake. So it wasn't a tax sale. They bought it at regular sale because it was listed. It's been listed for several, by the way, it was not listed for several years. She goes, it's been listed for several years under tax sales. You would never even be able to find this listed under tax sales. It does not work like that. And she has no concept. And she's so trapped in her lie. It's been passed down, title jumped. I don't know what title jumped means. And then I guess the two sisters bought it and put it up for sale. And I bought it from them. Randy's just taking it all in like you are right now. Oh, really? How'd you know about it in 2021? I can't remember where I saw it. You can't remember where you bought this legacy, beautiful piece of property. No, it's not she can't. It's she won't. She won't share because she knows she's so caught in her pathetic lies. Can't remember where she saw this property for sale, but she called a real estate agent, did all this information, did the title work with Bennett Law Center, filed bar complaints on Bennett Law Center, got all the money back for a title search that never happened. She believes. Yes, she believes. Randy goes, okay, who'd you contact then? She goes, I contacted the registered owner of the property. Oh, you did that yourself? Or Randy goes, did you contact the registered owner of the property? Did you do all of this yourself? She goes, no, I contacted a real estate agent. Real estate agents have nothing to do with tax liens, as I've already said. How did you know who the real estate agent was? That's what I'm asking. She goes, I don't know. I saw it somewhere. And I researched it and I looked to see if it was still for sale. And I found out it was. And there was a real estate agent. Dun, dun, dun. And I contacted that real estate agent. Okay. Randy says, again, how did you find this real estate agent? She goes, I don't know. I don't know how I found out it was for sale. Randy goes, all right. Let's move on. Obviously, she's caught in her lie. Let's move on. We'll come back to that. What was the purchase price? You paid for your ownership interest. What was the purchase price? She goes, the whole purchase price of the property, I believe it started at $27,000, but we offered, well, I'm not exactly sure, it's like 20. She bought it for 23. I'm not sure what it ended up being. Randy says, okay, we've got proof. We have the documents. He goes, I apologize to everyone here. I have a document. This is going to be exhibit number 2. I'm going to send it all to you. I want to make sure you can all see this. Remember, the trustee's attorney is on, or Saran Wrap is on. I'm on. Randy and Lynette are there in person. It goes on to say, the day you purchased it, October 13th, 2021, you didn't own that property until closing day, correct? She goes, right. Well, did you own Northport at the same time? She goes, I was on 2 properties, sir. It goes on our Northport property. So I did own Northport. He goes, so you still own Northport while you were telling people that you owned Otter Creek. She goes, I'm not sure because we closed on that property and this one on the very same day. In other words, she had a contingency contract to sell Northport. Contingent based on, or she had a contingency contract to buy Otter Creek. It was contingent on her selling the Northport home, which again, my opinion, she probably violated some terms, probably violated some agreements with whoever came in and remodeled that home by immediately flipping it. I don't know 100% for sure, but that's typically the way that it works. All right, so she's owning 2 properties, Northport and Otter Creek at the same time. Randy goes, all right, did you have a mortgage on any of these properties? I'm just going to show you this, guys. And he's sending the paperwork. And he goes, I'm going to send this. I'm going to show this to the court reporter as well. And Randy goes, is this a picture in your Northport property, isn't it? This is Exhibit 2. Now, Exhibit 2 is a picture of Lynette showing Jamie Starr Johnson What the Hales on a big screen TV.
Yeah. There you
telling
go.
everybody in a text that it's okay. She's moving to Otter Creek. She has a
There
plan.
you
There's a
go.
big plan. The plan was try and take advantage of myself and get money. Can't say she's the only one that's ever done it, unfortunately. Take money, steal money. Randy goes, please look at me, ma'am. She goes, Starr Johnson, Jamie Starr Johnson came to my property. She wanted to watch Hales, so we turned it on. Randy goes, so this is from What the Hales. What you're looking at right now is you viewing What the Hales in your home in Northport with Jamie Starr Johnson. She goes, yes. Okay. But it shows you watching and showing you what are you trying to say? This is Jamie. She goes, that's What the Hales on the TV. And yeah, I see George's right there. So Randy goes, so you're watching What the Hales in Northport, Florida in this picture, correct? And her response is, Jamie Starr has the hots for Jeremy Hales. I don't watch him.
Right. She's like,
really?
Yep.
So
It's crazy, isn't it?
Until she ended up in Northport in Lynette's home. Randy goes, is that a yes then? You're watching What the Hales in your Northport home? Yes, sir. And then things get completely and totally
These are crazy videos.
Hinged.
They are all crazy. Man, the more there's so much of this. You know what makes them mad about it too? They're like, how can he get so much material from it? It makes them so mad. And yet they just go back to the same material again and again. Remember though, like I said, you can dislike this guy all you want, but you should find it kind of scummy that people sit on a pretty heinous claim. They sat on it for months until they thought they could get a gotcha out of it. And then they started using it to fundraise against Megan Fox. Isn't that weird? Scumbags. Anyway, let's do some super chats because we're the ones who get to sue Megan Fox. No one else. That's right. Let's do it. Oh, man. What's up, D Green? 8 months. 8 months, a long time. Yes, it is. And thank you. Appreciate you. It is. You're right. It is a long time. Jaguar, 5 gifted memberships. Baby, 5 gifted memberships. That's right. Thank you. Max Lab, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate you. Jada dropped 5 gifted memberships too. Thank you, Jada. Appreciate that. Dynasmall, thanks for the 5. I'm in. That's right. Sue Megan Fox. Hashtag Sue Megan Fox. Let me see if I can put that on a banner. Let's see. Give me a second. I'm going to put that on a banner tomorrow too. Hashtag Sue Megan Fox. Hashtag where's my $40? Let's see. Have it scroll. I like it. There, add banner. Let's see if this works. Where's my banner? Show it. There we go. Look at that. Hashtag Sue Megan Fox. Well, could have been a little better. It does have a gap in that one. Wait, no, don't cut off. And I'm not that picky. Keep it going. There we go. Hashtag Sue Megan Fox. See? Isn't that beautiful? You like that? As Sean dropped $50 dues. Man, Megan, you are done. You are done. What's funny is I want our lawsuit. I want our lawsuit earnings to be better than the fats who really want to sue Megan Fox. Oh, it's so embarrassing. They're like, we made $300. I'm like, dude, for real. Like no joke. If you can't come up with $5,000 for a retainer, you got no business suing anybody. Because you know what? What people will do to you is they will financially bleed you. They will just by making you go through the legal steps that you're supposed to go through. You know, again, I do everything that I have to do, but again, I would remember the lessons from anti-Hales about, you know, exactly how service and everything works. So I would. Thank you, John. Appreciate you. Dawn, thanks for the two. To Sue, Megan, Melissa Fox. I love that you left there and there. And yes, Julie also. Thank you. Gotta hire the J. That's right. The J's just got to be hired too. Thank you for that 5. Emmett, thank you for the 10 there. Show him the money. That's right. Fan it at him. Do you feel it? He's like, I'm parched. It's so good. Bonnie, thanks for the 2. For the per se lawyer. I know, man. You got to bring in a heavyweight sometimes, right? Kara, thanks for the 20 there. For whatever. I love it. Yeah. Sometimes. Jason, thanks for the 5. For whatever. Just Jay, Peens, new storage units. Yeah, sometimes you need to combine all those together, and then you get up really a sexy ball of fun. Becky, thanks for the 2. For FOIA in the new lawsuit. Oh, yeah, see, ooh. We're going to get that FOIA on. That's right. What's up, Suzanne? How you doing, by the way? Thanks for 22 months. To Peen or not to Peen? That's so bad. Oh, I love it. Kim, thanks for the 2. Just because. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. American Woman Thrifter, thanks for the 20 there. Lawyer Bun. Go get them, Tiger. That's right. Feeling it. Feeling it. Snowflower. What's up, Snowflower? I hope you're doing great, by the way. It's good to see you. Thanks for the 10. Let's also state it. She didn't get close enough to smell him. Yeah. I put the screenshot. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. So I read that on the thing. I'm glad you mentioned it too. You know, I find that well, again, they've got all these things that are just flagrant lies, but it won't matter because again, these people want to hate Hales enough to listen to liars and pieces of shit charlatans. I mean, they've already proven, hey, you don't like the YouTuber enough that you're willing to throw in with a felon. Or remember when that felon brought in his friend that was so awful that even Marla was like, I'm quitting these email threads. This guy's dropping the N-word. He's throwing this stuff to the courts. You know, he's an awful person. But it's okay that they sick on one Hales because, hey, they all hate Jeremy Hales, right? Again, they have thrown in with some of these scumbaggiest people that have been punished by our judicial system. They've been punished by the bar. I mean, again, you know why a person gets in trouble and they have to give up that license? They permanently retire because they're liars. Look at why she got in trouble. And then be like, you know, I'm going to burn down some lives based on what this piece of shit says. Fuck her. What a piece of garbage, man. These people are absolutely awful. Jeremy Hales sues her, so of course she accuses him of right? You know, oh no, he sued me. What can I do? Well, we can just dig in and make it worse and worse. You know what's really bad? They tell you they have footage there. They told us again they had footage of SA. That's what they told us for a while, and then they backed it down. It's so bad. Ugh. So bad. Pieces of garbage, man. Yeah. Snowflower. Yeah. That is a good point. Appreciate you. Jerry, thanks for the 5. If you Google the storage facility, you'll see all the cameras. So the company won't release a video without a warrant. Yeah. I'd contact them about their stuff. I mean, if the police report, that police report we read over is a legit police report. Like that is one that was FOIA'd out. So, yeah, for sure. Thanks, Emma. Thanks for that. She's going to be funny. Like watching her. Check these out, by the way. You want to see something? Let me send these to somebody this month. I think they're cute. Have you seen Mr. and Mrs. Frog? Check these out. This is Mr. and Mrs. Frog. I may send them around. I'm not sure yet. I think I will, though. I think that'll be cute and fun. You know, thank you. Yeah, thanks for the 11 months there. Jeremy would never do that. If he everybody would I put at least 3 phones to get you on camera. That way, yeah, proof that she'd lie. Well, you know what's really telling? Would you like me to show you something that's really, really telling, actually? I figured we'd discuss this tomorrow, but why don't we talk about this right now for just a minute? You know what else was really telling? The letters that she had. Somebody has posted a few of those, in the aftermath. So after all of this happened, when she supposedly, and again, remember, she's supposedly setting up these folks and would never talk to anyone or anything, right? Well, meanwhile, again, she's talking about wanting to have face-to-faces with Randy. And I mean, it's just wild stuff. Check this. Give me 1 minute. It's taking me a minute to send it over to myself. But remember, after that accusation, she's still mailing and doing all this other crazy shit. Here, it's her. I don't fault you. I want you to know I was transparent with you. I truly developed a crush on you. This is after he supposedly this horrible shit to her and she wants to press charges, which made me act in a manner where I wasn't looking out for myself. I liked you. You cannot deny that was real. I was the one who made the mistake trusting you. I was told I was a fool for trusting you, but my feelings towards you overpowered my logic. Now you sit with tons of things you could use to hurt me that I gave you when I was vulnerable and trusting you. You probably felt absolutely nothing for me and played me while gathering everything I was so stupid to give you. Yeah, this sounds like somebody, again, she sounds like a jilted fucking, in her mind, lover. She thought she would be up on that Jeremy, and when she didn't get it, she accuses him of stuff. Here's her talking about Michael. I found his spyware, which monitors my phone. We'll go through all of these. We'll go through, well, not everything, but we'll go through. These are some that were posted. Actually, people should send all of them that they remember, because I can't remember all of them that came out after that time period. But yeah, isn't it weird? She's talking about how much she, loves and respected and wanted him and stuff. That's after he supposedly did these terrible things. She wanted her some Jeremy Hales. And when Jeremy was like, I don't want that, she slinked her ass back to the people that she turned on. And they're such clowns that they were like, you know what? We're going to get him now. We set him up. Man, what a bunch of lying pieces of shit. Like I said, I saw some of your messages. And yeah, those messages were not, oh, I'm just playing him. Yeah, right. Oh, man. She ended up, Jill making a fool of herself. What a piece of garbage. Denise, thanks for the 10. LL Tug. Tim Lisa, what you talking about? This is just my real voice. $40. Blue Eyes. What's up, Blue Eyes? Appreciate you, Blue Eyes. Thank you for the 10 giftos. That's awesome there. And you folks are awesome. Again, weekends. I know this was a long live stream. I realize I did go for a while. That was a long video, but there was stuff I wanted to talk about too. And we'll go for a minute tomorrow as well. So I still wanted to go. Is that Dark Alpha? I almost said, look, Dark Alpha. I was looking at, my brain was trying to, for some reason, it kept thinking alpaca. I was like, how does that fit alpaca? It's so dumb. I need to go to bed later. Alpaca. Oh, I've lost my mind. I was like, what? Dark Alpha, Lord. Oh, some moments, man. Some moments. Appreciate you. Yeah, Fox and Friends can raise $40 with their eyes closed. Why? Because eyes are not closed. That's right. And they see all. That's right. Here's the other 20, by the way. Boom, boom, boom. That's right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Juliet, thanks for the 5 there. Extra 5 to help for Jay to help with Jeremy's extortion defense. Indeed. You know what? The pair say lawyer. You know, Anything, if Leslie's such a great lawyer, then how did she get beat by Just Jay? Does that mean that Just Jay is the greatest lawyer ever? I mean, they keep talking about how great Leslie was, right? Does that mean that Just Jay Hip actually is the best lawyer that has ever existed? Lisa Lee might smell like pee. Thanks for the 5. Money for the lawsuit against that megalodonus foe. That's right. First motion to only allow her to respond using bullet points. That's right. And we'll send everything to her. Instead of sending her a bunch of motions in boxes, we'll send them in sending garbage bags. How's that sound? 3, 6, 20. All the crazy live streams. Yeah, I like this comment. We've been watching 1970s Disaster. Got Airport, Towering Inferno, Meteorite Tonight. Yeah, perfectly coming into it. Yes, that is indeed understandable. I like it. That's a good plan. Rob Pink, thanks for the 5. Riddle me this. Unless she called herself Lips, that reaction box is way too small to fit either her first or last name. Yeah, indeed. I wonder if they used initials, maybe? Again, the problem is that since they invoked Marcy's law, I think it's gross, by the way, because what this allows people to do is they have overbalanced. I get it. Like I said, there needs to be something that looks out for victims. At the same time, man, we have the right to face accused. We have the right to know we're being freaking accused. You know, you don't even know you're being accused. Like Hale's had no idea these people were doing this because they hid it. It's just wild, you know. In fact, her extortion bullshit. Oh. And then again, you know, to say that, you got to remember this is the same person that encouraged people, IRS, FBI, on top of that too. Outside of it, bar complaints, more. I mean, these you did hateful. What's up, tight line? How you doing there? They said, I decided to spend a little extra so to have more space to type out my comment. Sadly, I can't think of anything to comment. Oh well, hope it still counts. You know what? Even though you have a lack of a comment, you still have a comment, and that comment is backing. Thank you for your backing. I appreciate it. I love those. Those do make me laugh. They always, you know. One thing I really appreciate from people, to be honest, is the fact that we can laugh at some pretty awful shit. I wonder, Leslie, by the way, here's a real weird question, Leslie. What do you think? See, they got to try to get out in front of this real fast. What do you think Jeremy has on them? You know, you have to wonder. There's a good question. What do you think Jeremy has on you, Leslie? What do you think out of all of that he might have? Because, I mean, they tried to jump out in front of stuff real fast. And, you know, what I wonder, and I keep wondering, is we got a taste. Like, you folks have not seen, like, half of those freaking, some of those letters, man. Ooh, baby, man, they're crazy. So I wonder what else is there. I wonder, you know, they think that playing the game, that they're playing it well. I mean, again, they took a lot of idiots for a fucking ride as far as money is concerned. You know, remember though, pull 'em up. They're not about pull 'em up, right? They just try to randomly sue people. What a dumbass. She also played Jeremy Hale's stuff. I thought that was kind of interesting. So it's illegal for anyone else to do the same thing, but she plays Jeremy Hale's stuff. Oh God, what an idiot, man. Blue eyes, thanks. Yeah, she needs 5150. Yeah, you're really a danger to herself and others. Yeah, I think some of these people really are a danger. Like they are. All jokes aside and stuff, I think some of them are dangerous. Yeah. SRK at all. It's my 66th birthday. That's awesome. Happy to the end of the day with your show. I appreciate that. You and Megan are the best. Well, thank you. You know what? You really need something. You need a great thing to say for the end of your day.
Happy birthday from both of us to you. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday. We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Here's to another year.
I appreciate you too. You know, I hope you had a great one. If for any reason today was not the greatest day ever, you get a do-over. You tell them. Anybody who says otherwise, you say, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. The Scott line, they're probably going to say otherwise. I set the birthday rules. I do. So you're good. Andre, what's up? Thanks for that $5 for the candy money. That's right. Blake, thanks for the 5. Yep. Got to get that bug request money. That's right. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Oh, look at that. Yep. Wanda, too. I appreciate it. I did pull that up, too. Thank you, Wanda. It's funny. The kids are still playing and watching. It's late, but I told them they could stay up late and play. So, you know, they're hanging out together today. Blake, thanks for the 5. The girls need candy money, too. I will tell them, and thank you, my friend. You know, Travis, that's true. Talk way too much to the cops. Doesn't seem, but it's voluntary. So, Tinsel, thanks for the 20. I think we should see that umbrella guy because umbrella fishing, that sounds so sexy. I know, baby. You're like, wow, 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 wow. Fun times. Oh, Travis, thanks for the 5. Sorry, I ain't been in much, Dad. Getting over cancer and upcoming aneurysm surgery. Running the ranch. Just been busy. Oh, man, dude, brother. You know? Yeah, hey, you know what? You do what you do, brother. Life gets in the way. You know, this is my, it's my fun, but it's also my work. So I'm in it and I enjoy it. As it comes up, you can pop in if something happens, if you're done with it for a minute, you know, you can come back or whatever. Me, I love to watch the crazy and the cat. Remember, this isn't about me. You know, that's one of the things that as an outside observer, I find so interesting. Like the antis, man, they had to, you know, Leslie was like, I never tried to get involved with this. Really? Are you kidding me? She's tried to hurl herself like a nuclear fucking weapon into this mess over and over again. And she has gone as far as she can without actually trying to hurt somebody with something. There's only a little farther she can escalate. And that is a frightening endeavor when you think about it. Adair, thanks for the 5. Randy needs a t-shirt that says, again, schedule. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Oh, Lord. That is truly, it'd be funny if he had him a t-shirt like that, wouldn't it? K-Mad, thanks for the 10. Megan, yeah, the Megan suit money. Got to get that for you. I know. You know what? We're going to hashtag see Megan one more day. And then when she comes back Monday, she's going to be like, what in the world is happening? Oh, my God. Mr. Coop, thanks for the 5. All I would like for a birthday is 40 clams for Sir Tug. That's right. And get that evil megalodonus. Oh, by the way, the Fats and friends said they want my credentials for practicing. Well, you know what? You accuse me again of grooming a child that I was giving therapy, you better hope to shit that I was practicing therapy before I married, which is not true. You also don't know how credentialing or anything else works. You have no idea how mental health works, period. It's so funny, these people. I can tell you where I worked. Actually, it's you know what? I'm not going to throw the business, but it's on the docs stuff that they have. It even says that I'm a therapist on it. That's the funniest thing. Like the doxed material, they found it on the website of the company I worked with because they had this stupid freaking rule where they put all of their employees on it. And it said on there that I'm a therapist. So it tells you straight up. Also, when they found it, here's the funny fucking thing. Idiots like this, if they really wanted to do damage and they were smart, they thought they were smarter than me, but they weren't. Because when they found that and they kept going, you know what? They found the place I worked at then. Because I worked at the same place. Oh, yeah, that's the real kicker there. I was still working there. But I was a director at the time. I was a director and I was the therapist at that facility. So when they got around to contacting, I was in the process of moving to their corporate headquarters. I was moving over to the area that's in where I live, this area, because they had satellite mental health facilities. Well, when these people would call and ask if I worked there, I told the receptionist, who was my employee, I told her to tell them that I no longer worked there, which was technically true because I was moving to the corporate place. So I really worked for the same company. I worked there for years. I worked there over a decade. Oh my God. They found the place. They're just too fucking dumb to, when they hit it for all these days. But the one thing they never expected was to hit a company and they shut our phone down. Like it was so nasty at that time. We would get clients that would want to in themselves, we'll say, right? And if we would have had some of those clients try to call in at that time, they wouldn't have been able to get through because all they did was barrage call. It was pretty nasty, but it circulated. You should look back then if any of it's around, because they are like, oh, well, the place says that he's gone. Maybe he got fired or something. No, I still work there. I love it. I love it. It's so funny because they thought they were so smart. It's like they never considered, like they didn't look at the fact that I believe the newsletter thing was outdated because the guy that ran the tech stuff there, I can't remember. There was one main guy that did all the tech work. It was crazy. And when I went over, I would run some of the MIPS stuff. That's the Medicare programming stuff. When later on, I would help them figure some of that out, but I would help with some of his crazy stuff too when that would come up. And I can't remember though. I think he had a guy that used to help him that did the website stuff, and he ended up quitting or something. So they didn't update things for a long time. And I don't know if it showed the directorship when they found it. And then the funny thing is, after a little while, that guy couldn't handle that. So along with like MIPS and other stuff, I would do some updates to the website of the place. And that's one of the reasons when their stupid newsletter thing, it kind of went down. That was one. So the guy's wife ended up with the company as well. I'm not going into their whole spiel, but it was kind of crazy. And when she took over the company, she took away a lot of the weird, stupid shit. God, I could tell you some crazy stuff about that place. Oh, anyway, another day, remind me. But what's up? How are you, Grant? Thanks for the 5 there. At one time, Elemental P said that she had all these documents through the mail. Yeah, Yeah, I thought she said she signed them all. That's what I thought, but she said a lot of things. It's hard to even keep up anymore, because of the ever-changing narratives. Sassy, thanks for the tube. Where it really messes up my sense of I'm sure. I'm sure the people like live in Aussie, those folks, like the Australians, I'm sure that all of this really messes with them because they're like, the furthest out you can get from time zone here when we're starting, or any channels, really, it's got to be really weird. And Taz, thanks for the vibe. What's up, Taz? Contribution to Fire, Just Jay. Just Jay Dip as co-host. Oh man, yes, Lug and Bug would be a great. That's true. That's true. They would be great co-hosts. I don't know. The oldest, she's like, I want to do a show. Like you can't do. You could do stuff. I was like, you're not old enough yet. You have to be 14 to play around with shows and actually be on them these days. But I told her like the kind of stuff I do, you can't be part of something like I do. Why? Well, I'll tell you when you get older. And it's not the material, it's the people you mess with. These people, they try to break. Look at what they did to Hales. They try to break people. They hope that they can cause them to do the worst things in the world. See, if they could put them in jail, that'd be great. But really what they want to do is they want to take away all your options. So, they cause you to do something very extreme to yourself. That's what they want to do. They try. Anyway, we're ending. We've been here way too long. I appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Early day, remember. See ya.